broken glass while I'm thinking in my head. I mind my own, I don't even break a sweat. Oh, this madness is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RSC. We're here today with the Rivals Play-ins, and joining me on the desk is Mr. Hodge. Hodge, it's been so long since we casted together, and we're here in the reaching the peak of RSC after league play. Now we've got the play-ins, playoffs, such a hype time for the league. But how you been, man?
I've been absolutely great. I have to say, I'm going to be weighing a lot on you to do a lot of the casting because I've got a lovely dinner that I've just had made here. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of an eating stream, and then you can do all the casting. But no,
So Rocket League straight on the right, and Mukbang on the left.
Exactly. That's what we're going to be doing here today. But yeah, it's going to be a great day of action. We're starting things off. We can pull up the schedule here for just a second. Obviously, with this Nate Ska team taking on the Illusory Mirage roster. And then moving forward, the winner of that gets to play against SCR Phoenix for a spot to, stay alive and move forward to Championship Sunday here in the rival tier. And then our upper bracket match to close the day will be Unitox Chianina versus DSQ Caligo. And that is not really eliminating a team, that's sending one team through to the upper bracket to start off Sunday. And then one team will start it in the lower bracket versus the winner of the Phoenix versus anyone's guess team. So yeah, it's going to be a great day of action, and we've got a lot lined up here, don't we, Zach? But in terms of these two teams, we've got to talk about team stats. We've got to talk about player stats. Let's get the team stats here up on the board.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about Mirage is their equal season. Really, they're even Stevens with themselves. Did show us 20 on the site, but showed us 19. Whether that's a bit of inconsistency, but either way, these teams are middle of the road basically in both their conferences. The thing about SKA is they missed the mark in terms of the rest of the table. They're quite far below the rest of the team. So these guys, they've been on a bit of a struggle in league play, both kind of having similar stories. So I don't know what to make of, I guess, how these guys compare. Looking at the saves, though, Christ, one team really showing their defensive forte.
I can say that Nate team, it should be sixth. It's just that the graphic, I believe, doesn't quite account in for head to head, so that should say sixth. But regardless, yeah, it's gonna be a good day of action here, and I can't wait for a clash between these two teams. In terms of the player stats, then let's have a look at it. And there's a lot to break down on these sort of pages. I don't like looking at them. There's a lot of information. Can you do the honor here, Zach, of digesting what we're looking at for me?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the first thing we always look at is that top row. I mean, we start from the top, but in terms of games played throughout the season, of course, out of a total of 40 games in the league season, you'll see there's only one player on there, or almost two, that meet the mark in terms of having that 100% participation rate. So you've got Conflict going the full distance in league season. That's one thing that stands out to me. And on the other side, you've got a bit of a mixed bag on the side of Mirage. So these guys, it seems like on SKA's side, you've got more of a core roster there that's played together for the most part of the league, and then a bit of a split season for Mirage. So, yeah, like in terms of team runs, you've got SKA with a more consistent core right there, but across the boards, yeah, I think that it's hard to digest those. There's so much on there.
It is,
But-
and one thing that we can digest though is the predictions, which are already on the screen. So do you want to walk us through the 4-1 here for Illusory that you've put down?
Illusory and Org that I've been in RSC quite a while, and I've always enjoyed watching them. So I think I'm just a bit of an Illusory fan, really. Also, not a fan of the hard to pronounce names that they throw out. So yeah, that's my.
I'm the new gen one here. I like a bit of I like a bit of newness. You know, I know Nate's it's their second season as a franchise here, but I rate the team names. I think it's quite unique, and it keeps me on my toes. So yeah, I've gone with a 4-3 win to Nate Ska here. I think it's going to be an interesting series. I think this one could go the distance, but yeah, I think some of these matchups can just go one way or the other here, Zach, and that's, you know, the way we've got to look at things. But we've got all 9 players in the lobby. We are pretty much ready to go. So I think there's nothing left to do other than to tell these players to join the pitch and fight for their lives here in the play-ins. It's a nice and sunny Friday evening here over in Newcastle, but down here on Manfield night is where it is pitch black. It's where it's under the lights. It is where you cannot make any mistakes here or your season is over.
Backs against the walls for both teams. Who's going to come out on top and deny the storyline of their league season, trying to make it all the way through their play-ins? Of course, these two teams have the longest journey out of all of them, so they're going to be nice and warm, at least for the next match, but looking to prove themselves in what is the pinnacle of the competition in rival tier. But starting us off, we've got a bit of a quiet first 30 seconds. Bit of a nice fake from Fran Julio, actually, but it's going to be cleared away by Flair. And right now, Nate Ska with the pressure, Hodge.
Yeah, Nate Ska with the early pressure. It's going to be sort of brought back in by Mirage. Like to turn things around. Flair off this side wall. Not a passing option in field. Speaking of passing options, Ish is there for the first goal. It's a great pass from Fran Julio. And, well, that's the connections you're looking for here to kick off a series, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're flying up like that. That is a confident little play right there. And right out the gate, you've got aggression, you've got confidence. That's about as green as you get, really. And they're looking for another follow-up. That's going to be blocked out by Fresh, though. And Demos across the board getting really physical with each other. But right now, I see my prediction just falling apart beneath my eyes. This is actually the one set that I gave them. They're going to come out strong, and then yeah,
right,
Loser
okay.
going to fly back. I like that we have a split desk, actually. It's very entertaining because we just get to fight with each other.
It's called common sense versus delusion.
Oh,
it is.
okay.
But,
There we go.
But yeah, I mean, it's great to see this Nate Ska roster already on fire. As, oh my word, Fran Dooley with the double. That is magical here to kick off game number 1. Some highlight plays already from Nate Ska.
Positioning himself to block that clear as well. What an amazing play. A lot of individual plays coming out from the side of Ska. It's good to see them getting aggressive and confident on the ball. Now, usually going to need to... The Mirage, we're looking for an answer right now. It doesn't seem like they can really get out of their own half. A little bit shaky on the ball. A little bit slower. And I think this is a team that are trying to find their feet right now in this series. Is it going to cost them a game, though, before they start to look at trying to make something happen?
That's what we're going to have to find out. will be issue once again. Guess he's going for conflict. He's just going to try and avoid getting demoed there. Fresh pick up that ball and whisk it away from the defensive side. Now Illusory want to look to turn the tides here, but quite going to happen as the passing option just isn't there, and they're just getting outsped here by Nate Scath time and time again. 3-goal lead to hold on to. You have to think this should be Nate Scath's game here early on, unless we can see Illusory Mirage start to get to work in the next minute or so. But 3 goals is quite a difficult lead to come back from here, especially after the opening sort of shots and goals that we've seen. But Fresh is going to have to try and do the dirty work to allow Yeezy Panda to come through and find that first. It's a long road back here, but it all starts with a goal.
Yeah, honestly, ease the nerves too. Once again, these guys are playing to remain in the play-ins. They are lower bracket. They do lose this, they are out. But nice first goal coming out, although it was a little bit messy, lacking in power. A goal is a goal, and it's gonna calm the nerves. Not just that, but also leads to another follow-up, and all of a sudden the game's been turned on its head. The stylish moves of Scar, the execution of Mirage, and we're on our way to an even series.
Yeah, this one could still go either way, and you know, don't worry, your prediction could still be intact. Especially with a kickoff like this. Hang on a second, Fresh can't get any further with it. We'll go over to Flair. But it's just Illusory Mirage and a harass the back lines here. But now will be Fresh who gets back, and will be Frandulo. Didn't really have any more
it's open.
I guess boost in the tank for that one, but down the other side, the back lines are caught a little bit lacking by Mirage, and it's just essentially gets the open net.
Yeah, and that's down to the catch from Conflict too. I mean, the ball was basically handed to him after Fresh had no boost. And yeah, it's just a nice little bit of team play, nice positioning on the ball. And all of that hard work that Mirage have collected coming into the second half is getting grinded down by Scar. Still 2 goals left to go. 2 minutes left. It's not over by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. But it's Scar coming back into the side of Mirage. We'll see.
We'll see. Indeed. We'll see. 2 goals still needed. And they've brought back 2 goals once before. Normally you'd say, you know, maybe you can do it again, but not when a great pass like that one comes flying through from Ish and allows Conflict the easy tap in. It's great positioning here from Nate Scath, and it feels like that they, a lot of the time here, just have quicker follow-ups, whereas Illusory Mirage, they might be getting the ball in front of the net, but they don't really have that second man ready to go, and it's cost them a couple of opportunities here and there here, but here and there here. Have I just invented a new? Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I'm too busy putting in mashed potato.
Yorkshire puds in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
How is your roast, by the way?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I'm keeping an eye on my second monitor to see when you stop speaking. So I've got to quickly digest that. But it's certainly a good opening to the series. This one. It was looking like Illusory Mirage. We're going to start to bring things back a little bit there, Zach. But now we start to see this Nate Scar team pulling away, and that's not a miss you want to have.
Oh my God!
Collect the pieces, but it's pandemonium here on the defense for Illusory Mirage.
Yeah, it is. They seem to be all over them as Team Scar. They, like you said, they're just pushing that ball through. They're so fast on the uptake, and right now Mirage just struggling to even on their touches. It's so awkward. Having to get a really clutch save from Fresh to even save a 6th goal from going in. Like, we're approaching Brazil territory. They're going to run away with this game if we don't do something fast. That's Ish almost on the follow-up for a 6th goal. 18 seconds left. It's all but done. Can we get a 3rd goal for our troubles? No, it looks like it's just going to be a 6th one on the horizon. Conflict goes up for that. Goes for the double tap. Tries to get the waterfall shot. No, it's off the backboard, and that's the first one wrapped up.
Certainly is. It will hit the ground. Scar take game number 1 here in this series. And what a way to kick off the series here as well. If anybody's just joining us, I do implore you to go back and watch some of those first couple of goals, because they were pretty good to see there from Nate Scar to really open off a series. Yeah, I mean, what a way to look at things. But so far here, Zach, I'm not too disappointed with this Illusory Mirage team. They started to come online towards the sort of, I guess, the second half of things, and couldn't quite close things out in the end there. But overall, it shows that they're awake here. They're ready. They're ready to play. And I think in the early stages of a play-in's best of 7, that's what you need. You need to show that you're there, show that you've got a fighting chance. And already in game number 1, I think it's just a case of one team's had a sort of quicker start off the mark than their opponents. And I'd expect anything to change going into game 2.
Yeah, it just you don't like. For Mirage, it just didn't feel like there was cohesion there for me. It seemed like they were very in and around the ball. It didn't seem like any kind of attacks formed, apart from those early 2 goals, which I think were more down to Scar's mistakes. Right now, they haven't given me anything to. I mean, I said that they will win, so of course they're going to win. What are we talking about? I just predicted it. 4-1. Oh, we're remaking the lobby.
Well,
okay, sorry, we're just making the lobby.
Zach, stop scoring. What are we doing?
What?
I've just put in the name and password and joined the lobby that you were in, Dafty. Okay, well, we'll get in to Forbidden Temple for game number 2 here. But yeah, a good start, more so for one team than the other. But yeah, like I say, I think, I mean, you said that they've not really shown you anything that's gonna sort of convince you here, but maybe that's where game number 2 is what we're gonna see. We're gonna head over to Forbidden Temple. We're gonna get to the kickoff, and we're gonna take on a little bit of a tango on the temple. Thought of that one for a bit.
Tango the Temple. I mean, this is my one of my favorite maps. Lovely, beautiful architecture, cherry blossoms.
I hate it.
Great scenery to make a comeback, and that might be what they're pulling off here. Never mind, it's off the crossbar, and the follow-up's going to be blocked with the pop-up. Holding on for dear life there as the kickoff goal looms. But right now we've got some aggression out the gate, some Mirage. It's what I was waiting for, fresh. Look at the style on them. But Ish not going to let them.
Yeah, make it quite difficult here. Flair's going to try and get this one into Yeezy Panda. Fresh immediately there with the follow-up, and give his teammates a bit of an easier time on the ball. Yeezy Panda pop up, going to be taken away there by Conflict, and back over to Flair through this corner. Illusory are looking for some purchase on the ball, and to be fair, Nate Scar are giving them a lot more space than they probably should be entitled to, but maybe that can change, because now it's on the back wall. Now the demo has put that attack to a stop, and you can see Ish running back with the back pass there to try and, I guess, keep this attack going. Just we're doing anything that they possibly can to hold on to that possession.
So the teams have subsided a little bit in their confidence. Raj really coming out their shells this one, putting a lot of shots towards the net, a lot of pressure, really trying to get that first loss back on their side, trying to equal out this game's this best of 7. We're scuffling in the midfield. Both teams, yeah, like you said, there's a lot of space on the ball right now, and it seems like Mirage are just taking. Making a lot of use out of that. Still goalless though, as this completely different series, completely different set to the first one we saw.
Well, it will be saved on the goal line there by Ish. So they're going to pick that one up. Going to get bumped off the ball though. Yeezy Panda with a follow-up, and what a goodness. Vandulo had to make that save. Fresh trying to line up the double, but no boost means no second touch, and well, it'll be Flair. Try and keep this illusory attack going as he.
Oh my God! What?
Ish with the save again. Nate Scott are putting up the brick wall of defense.
I didn't even see how that was saved. That was like as good as in on my screen. And Ish once again being the hero of today. 4 saves on the side of him. 4 shots from Fresh too. It's offense versus defense right now. Nate Scott really holding on. And that's just got to feel so frustrating for Mirage. Unless the double tap comes in. No, it's actually Sky puts off to the side. And they say the best offense is defense. Is this going to hold true?
It's a difficult
Oh
save
my!
now.
Oh,
Conflict.
he
And,
almost did.
yeah, with no boost in a 1v1 there, you just it's such a difficult situation to play from. A great flick from Flair to get it past, and Conflict made a good effort, but in the end, it will be first goal to Mirage. They say try, and try again, and well, you'll succeed eventually. They have. It only took 8 shots, but we got there in the end. Illusory Mirage with the 1-0 lead, but going to be looking for another one. As Fresh just trying to break through from that corner air dribble, and it will be back over into the defense once again. The pieces are a little bit scattered here for Sky and Cyborg.
Oh my god!
It doesn't matter. It works just as well as a fake. Fresh with the second.
Look at this redirect from Flair.
It didn't hit it. It still worked though.
Well, it looked like it. yeah. Fooled me.
Well, you thought you hit it.
Yeah, look at this 6 shot. Bro did not touch the ball. My
Oh,
bad. As a kickoff goal. What?
That works as well. Nate Scott reining things in a little bit there. And, you know, you can have your fancy sidewall doubles and your fancy 1v1, you know, flicks. In the end, if you can get a kickoff goal, it doesn't really matter.
That's the Mirage that they're putting up. But goal's a goal. They're going to bring the score back to 1 between them. But I didn't feel like we had that the confidence from Scar this time. I mean, apart from their stylish defense and the saves, they looking to try and make some attacks happen. And that is a dunk, which leads to a goal. Positioning from Frangulio, and the clear is just... It's just so unfortunate. Straight into the path of his loving arms, and he's going to say, I take that.
I mean, yeah, you've got to take it. You've got to take every opportunity that you can here in this stage. 2-2 in game number 2. Maybe make it 3-2, because Conflict once again. It's kickoff.
What's happening?
Yes, for Nate Scar.
Oh, God. Both of them flying through on the kickoff. That is unfortunate. 2 kickoff goals. And how much work have they been putting in for those 2 goals that they've had? It was like almost effortless 2 goals coming in from Scar. It's gotta feel frustrating. You can feel it through the screen. And now they take the lead. Are they gonna hold on to it? Are they gonna press the attack? Mirage look like they're searching for it. Cornerby's gonna be grabbed. It's up in the middle. Fresh is a little bit too far forward. Frangulio gets the clear, but it's boomed back, and we're back to square 1.
Certainly are. Easy Panda touch over to Flair, who's already up for that one, but can't quite find the connection. 45 seconds left. Illusory need something, but they're getting blocked out time and time again. Excuse me. A great catch there from Easy Panda as he tries to sort of weave it around a couple of players. He's got a good bump. That's going to allow Fresh to throw it on the back wall as it's going to drop down from above, but a great beat there from I keep messing this one up. Frandulo. I'll go with that. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter what he's doing, though, because Conflict's there as well, 4-2. And as much as I'm stumbling over the pronunciation, Illusory is stumbling in the defense.
That's what I'm saying, man. The pronunciations, can't deal with them. Enough to make me bet against you, but it seems like they're proving me wrong as they take a decisive lead in the series. Now get a break point, and Mirage left sat twiddling their thumbs. I was wondering where it went wrong. Oh, they get a goal back. Hold on a second.
Oh, no.
Never mind. Mirage. They hear me. They hear my calls for a series win. And Fresh finds a spot on the right-hand side. Look at that snipe.
It's a great snipe. Brings it back into reality here for Illusory. And this is a game that they very much need to put on the board. Otherwise, it's 2-0 down in the series. Ish is just going to take the opportunity of that happening away. As that time is going to tick down, Fresh needs some sort of possession on the ball here, but they're getting blocked out. They're getting denied. Nate Ska deny them in game number 2, just the same as they did in game 1, and go up 2-0 in the series.
As much as that was definitely a deserved win for Sky. Like it definitely felt it could have gone both ways this time, which is what I was kind of searching for. Very, very one-sided endeavor in the first one, but Mirage they're climbing their way back up in terms of what they're able to achieve this time round. So, they're on the rise. They're on the rise. Maybe some teams take a while to get into it. Some maybe go downhill. Not
Yeah.
too, yeah, but a serious amount of shots being taken this match. It was a very, very action-packed one for sure.
Yeah, it certainly was. Well, game number 3 going to be getting loaded up in a second here, and I'm going to remind you, Zach, to ready up before 5 seconds. The lobby doesn't crash. But yeah, it is an interesting situation between these two teams. For SCA, they're just going to need to hold on to their lead, keep on pushing it, and for this side of Illusory Mirage, they've got quite the lead to chase. They've got quite the comeback to go on. No timeout taken. They're getting straight involved. They're getting rash immediately here, and they're quite confident that some of the mistakes that they might have made are not, going to plague them in this game number 3. Let's go.
Yeah, one of those mistakes being the kickoffs. It looks like it's going well for now. Flair with a chance on net, but it's caught now by Conflict. Actually, the Easy Panda coming in for the challenge. Fresh is there waiting. Flair also just off to the side, though, not on target. And now it's the counter attack as the players of SCA are going to be carrying this one over. Beautiful save, but it's still hanging in the danger zone. And we're all floating around it. Off to safety on the side. It's such close endeavor. Both teams really all over each other. Now Mirage makes some space in the green side. Ish has some time. It's going to get challenged by Flair. It's off to the... Doesn't really seem very clinical in our plays. We're challenging and it's just booming back and forth, conceding possession. I'd like to see a bit more ball control. Take a bit of time, take the space that you have.
Yeah.
And maybe that will change, that'll turn the tides in terms of getting some goals.
Certainly will do. There's clashes in the midfield there as both teams look to try and find some sort of possession here. Both really struggling so far. Maybe Illusory can have a bit of a sniff of it here because Flair has got this touch to the ceiling. He's going to try and play that 50 down and allow Fresh to come back into the mix of things here. But yeah, it picked up, dealt with very well here by Nate Scar. They picked things up out of the defense and send them on their merry ways. One more time, and we get towards the halfway point of this game in the next minute or so. Still nothing for either side, but a good clear downfield here for Nate, and a pre-jump there from Ish. It's going to make things very, very difficult to deal with here for Illusory as they're continuing to get pressure. They're continuing to find themselves under the big lights of this attack here from Nate Scar. Dealing with it very well once again, though. I thought he owned gold that for a second.
It's so strange. We're going coast to coast. Scar really trying to put some pressure on when the ball kind of goes back to Mirage's little safety net there. And the pinch attempt from Ish as well. And that's a hit off the crossbar. Flair with a follow-up. Ish is there, though. Ish the savior. Ish the rescuer. As he saved so many shots from the side of Mirage in this series so far. He is their kryptonite. And they're so desperate to get some goals in. They just can't make it happen.
Yeah, it's back and forth between these two teams. Flair, though, to the back wall. Well, Frandulo taking it away, looking to set up the sideboard double, but instead it's a pass over to Easy Panda. The demo on the goal line, but can't quite sneak it through.
Just slightly off to the left. The demo setup was perfect. We're just missing a little bit on the execution. Fresh getting that corner boost is going to buy some time for the team. Dribble it across to the side. It floats up in the air. Flair goes up for it. Can we get anything to the midfield? We cannot. It's just going to be challenged once again. Fresh trying to make something happen on the rotation. But Conflict starting doing some basketball. That's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't really know. We're just playing Rocket League, Hodge.
Well, we're not, and thank goodness we're not, because I don't know if I'd be keeping up in these lobbies. But no, these 6 players certainly are, and are playing Rocket League for their season lives, especially if you're Illusory Mirage, because you're down quite a bit in this series so far. You don't want to make it 3-0 and be faced with a potential reverse sweep. Touch over to that corner as Mirage are pressing on the attack, and maybe Flair's found a bit of an opening here, but it will be the cut back there by Frandulo. I do apologize. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It
Somebody
seems
in
like
chat
getting
help
the
me,
team
please.
name pronounced right was the least
Oh,
of your
there we go.
worries.
It
Conflict
was.
putting a goal in. And it finally rears its head. The goal finally comes. Feels like it's well deserved.
Listen, what can I say? This is my payback because this guy coached my team a bit last season, and the first thing he said to my teammate when he coached my team is, "Oh, just cut Hodge from the team." So yeah, that's my payback. But yeah, I mean, it's an incredible, I guess, series being played here by Scar. And well, down the other side, Mirage, they're just having these shots, but they're not quite breaking down the defense and making it work when they need to. I mean, overall, it's just there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that lacking here, there, and everywhere. And it could cost them going 3-0 down in the series. Conflict touch over to the corner, flare to the back wall as well, but cleared away. This is Nate Scar looking to try and double down on their success with 15 seconds remaining, but it will be cleared out, and maybe one more chance for Illusory.
Yeah, they're trying to pop in midfield. The bump's coming in. It's just floating in the middle of the net. Anyone there for the follow-up? And it doesn't quite connect. Conflict. Just a tiny bit late. There is a touch that's reached there. Is there going to be a counter-attack? Ball's going to need to hit the ground. The demo is going to seal the deal. And Scar going to go to match point.
Yeah, they certainly are. No timeout call once again coming in from Illusory Mirage. As we see, when we have a look at this scoreboard, I mean, once again, you highlighted the shots versus the saves here. Zach, do you think it's still as prominent, what we've seen there from both of these teams? The shots versus the saves, the offense versus the defense?
Yeah, I think that what Scar has is just better execution. Like you see when they're going for the ball, like it doesn't take them too much before they're getting those goals in. But Mirage, they kind of put the ball near the net. That's not quite enough. Not quite enough. I feel like I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on it really. But Scar have amazing defense and they have good execution on offense. Whereas Mirage just seem to miss out both sides, if you know what I mean. Which is why I think that we're seeing a match point right here. The reverse sweep still could be on. But once again, a little bit uninspiring. I'm not sure what Mirage can do really to come back.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one, no matter how you really look at it from here. And when we have a look at this one, the winner going to move on to play against SCR in the next round, SCR Phoenix. And it is a team that Illusory haven't played against before, but this Nate roster certainly have back in league play. So hopefully for them, if they go through, they're going to be in a bit of a familiar matchup. But at the end of the day, it's play-ins, it's postseason, anything can happen, and stuff really does just change.
Yeah, so many times you see league play. Some teams from league play, they really don't shine until this postseason, like playoffs, play-ins. Some really come through it, not having the best season, and then they really they throw you off. They catch you off guard.
Yeah, I have to think now that you said that. What would happen if MPB Shell made it to the postseason after getting 10th in league play? Not to make an MPB reference again when MPB isn't playing, but what would have happened? What would have happened? The destiny of getting Hodge out of 10th place continues, but next season. Anyway, into a deciding game for the season for Illusory Mirage, where they've got to essentially lock in here, or they're going to be packing their bags to RSC 18. But right now, it is certainly them who've got the offensive pressure. But another incredible save from Ish. This guy's just been lighting up that. I guess I can't say the scoreboard. He's been lighting up the crossbar with all these saves. But somebody who has been a little bit absent and is looking to put himself back on the map here in game number 4 is Flair. Has been very much present in the pressure. And so is this entire team, but as a team as a whole, they've been lacking in these goals, and they need somebody to sort of spearhead that offense. And well, Flair getting himself back involved there to do just that.
Trying it again, taking matters into his own hands. some confident individual play. Maybe that's what Mirage need to break that barrier of getting the goals. The double tap is on Flair once again. That's a third chance at goal he's had in the past like 20 seconds. He really does not want to let this Scar team get out of their half.
Certainly doesn't. And Flair back on the attack, double tap, looking to lock and load.
Oh my God!
Panda can't quite get there with the follow-up. And my goodness, it is all over the place. And still, both of these teams just scrapping in an offense versus defense matchup.
Guys seem to be holding on. Yeah, there should be more goals on the score line right now. After what we've seen from Mirage so far, they're really trying. You can tell they're hungry for it. Their backs are against the wall. They're on match point, basically facing elimination, not getting to see any sort of daylight in this postseason gameplay. Got a feel for them, but you can feel it through the screen that they want it.
Yeah, well, guess who also wants it? It is Frandulo with that shot bottom left, but Conflict now taking over, looking to fake that double. Is trying to send it low. Woozy Panda with a clear away over to Flair, who looks to take it over the top, but put to a stop once again as Nate cut back on the rotation, and they're not going to let them have it that easily.
Yeah, I think if you've noticed, but I think Mirage really do come out like swinging in the first half, and then very slowly but surely Scar come back and they just basically take control of the game. You're 1-0 down and this team are bearing down on you. You need to get that aggression back, I think, for this last minute, the final minute. They're holding on to their one goal. They could just barely slip through. I'm sure it's going to feel good to get a win in the series, but you're essentially going to be on match point for the rest of the game. That's boomed off towards them. Fresh catches it to the side. And yeah, I feel like it's just a matter of time before Scar score right here.
I don't know, we'll see. It's a great touch there over to Conflict, but I don't know. This is looking like a bit of a different story here, Zach, in this game. And with 40 seconds left, maybe this will be where Illusory Mirage look to give themselves a lifeline, look to hold on, especially when Fresh is getting touches like that. And he doesn't even need the follow-up. He just needs time down off this clock here, time that ticks away and continues to hold them this lead. Two players very far back here for Illusory Mirage. They're ready to just pick up that ball and take it down the other side. Woozy Panda from the corner, Flair up this side wall, and Frandulo will take that over to Conflict, but the time dwindling and the chances evaporating here. Maybe another chance, maybe Ish is going to get himself back involved in Conflict with a corner read, but yeah, that time's going to tick away, and all Woozy Panda needs here is a touchdown field. Illusory Mirage, hold on.
And they did so well this time around. I think it's so deserved. 10 shots coming out from them this time round. Only 2 on the side of Scar. Not much working for them really this time around. And yeah, they show signs of life. They've been struggling. They've really been fighting hard to come back into this one, and it's finally worked, Hodge.
It certainly has. Certainly has. Once again, you've interrupted my roast dinner here, but we're getting there.
I'm sorry that I have to time my casting with your roasties. I'm sorry.
No, it's not an inconvenience at all. I'll just eat it cold. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, at the rate we're going right now here, Zach, I mean, we could still be in for a series to remember. It's one game here for Mirage, but overall the series has felt, like it could have gone either way with a couple more shots and a couple more shots that were on target. But we're going to head to Beckwith Park here, and this is where, if this game flips, things start to get a little bit scary for that team who is 3-0 up, because you start to get it in the back of your mind. Is this reverse sweep starting to happen? We've seen it once before where a successful reverse sweep is being completed in this season's playoffs bracket. It was Mistaken versus Nexus in Academy in the playoffs bracket, and when you look at attempts as well, you can look at MPB Snap versus Dexterity Occultist in the Prospect Upper Final. Went to Game 7, didn't quite work out, and this one still has, doesn't quite have the legs to walk just yet here, Zach. But maybe a couple more games, a couple more shots, and it could do. Or maybe it could be Nate Scar who looked to just close it out in 5, as we're seeing the pressure starting to dial up.
I mean, we're doing anything but scoring. Mirage have panicked about 3 times, and Scar have missed about 3 times. It's never let them know your next move. But a bit of a scary first minute as we approach the rest of the game in 6. Game 5 even. Game 5, can't count. Yeah, once again, just very back and forth. We're stuck in the midfield. We're going up for that. Ish is trying to get a drop to the corner, set up the team. All 3 of us committed upfield. This could be hairy. If we get a counter attack and the net looks relatively open, Ish is going to be able to catch that one, actually, no problem. Is this actually... Never mind, they have no boost. They can't even get back to it, Hodge.
Yeah, I mean...
I was like... Oh yeah, they're overextended. It's actually Mirage caught sleeping.
Yeah, it is Nate Scar who find the first here. And what Illusion we're starting to think maybe could have been an opportunity to turn the tides. Instead, the tide washes them away. But will it be a little bit of stranded on a desert island after this series in the form of elimination from RSC-17? Or will they be able to find some sort of salvage, looking to try and save away these opportunities coming through from Nate Scar, but Ish is just there to turn it on its head once again, and now look to go back on the attack. Flair has to jump and dive into that one, and Mirage, they're holding on their defense, but you talked about last game, it was the early stages which were benefiting them, and this time it's a little bit topsy-turvy. They've got a lead that they need to sort of claw back.
Yeah, they've not been in this situation so far. It's interesting to see how that changes things for them. Right now, they're fighting to get out their own half. Scar all over them. They've got some good ball control so far in the game. It's been nice to see. And they're getting physical too, Hodge. That's always going to really hurt you. Your mentor, I swear, getting demoed is so annoying. Especially when you're behind. You can't even make a play because you're dead half the time.
Sorry, I was eating a Yorkshire pudding there.
Yeah, no, I saw. So I stopped talking.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I do agree. It can be very annoying to continuously get demoed. Ask me in after some rank 2s games, and I'll tell you the answer for sure. But for now, we got to find an answer, and that is, are Illusory done with their season? 2 minutes left is the timer. And they can sort of extend that with every goal they pick up. One gets some, the infinite overtime potential. And the second one would, take the pressure off them a little bit with a bit of a lead. But for now, it's all Nate pressure. And, for this Illusory side, it's picking up these resources. It's getting out of your defensive half. It's, we're not even talking about creating chances yet.
No, it's just finding some space for yourselves. Ice 50 from Ish is really blocking them out today. But Fresh and Flair, together they are really going up for these chances, trying to make things happen, but they're just getting blocked out every time. Scar really doing so much to keep the pressure on, and it's off the crossbar. How did that not go in? That is insane. Flair's got no boost to do anything with. Gets a nice 50 into the midfield, but Frangiulo picks it up. And every second that ticks by, this could come down to the wire. And that could be an opportunity for them. Yeezy Panda's really rushing for it. Picks up that corner boost. It's down. It could be caught by Fresh. The Fresh with the shot, and it's saved by Conflict. Still not over yet, and they're trying to get some rotations in, but Mirage building that pressure gradually, Hodge. In these next 40 seconds, we could see something from them.
But the problem is we don't have time for gradual. We don't have time for, or just, start the attack now. You've got to get the attack going. You've got 30 seconds before your season's over. It goes back to mid, and Ish will dive in first. A soft touch there from Flair to try and continue to control this one, but over to Yeezy Panda. The challenges are just there, here, and, well, they're everywhere from this Nate Scar side. 15 seconds as Flair holds onto it from the corner, or does he? Easy Panda, a little bit awkward. Conflict looking for the dagger from above, but taken away by Fresh. A last-ditch effort. Maybe one more opportunity, but the timer looks to deplete to 0. And as soon as that ball hits the ground, Nate Ska will eliminate Illusory Mirage from RSC-17. Go forward into the next round to play against SCR Phoenix in lower round 2. But a series that I feel like, for the most part, apart from that game, I think can't really be told by the scoreline. I think there was games that could have swung either way there.
There was some long drawn out games coming through the series. Definitely, like, the scoreline doesn't speak for the games, like you say. 4-1. I have to give it to Scar. They really kind of pulled through. Mirage were just kind of fighting the whole time. It felt really to make things happen, but Scar just seemed like they had it on lock. Really confident side from them, confident play. You can see they're like, I mean, we're both equal in shots, but so much more execution there in the 11-6.
Yeah, no, definitely. When we have a look at our series MVP as well, it is going to be Ish. And just
Of course.
take a look. Just take
Spot.
a look at that saves graphic there. Saves demo shot. Walk me through the impact that this guy found on the pitch, Zach.
He's on the goal line. If his rotation, he just wherever Mirage have an attack, Ish is there just to block them. It's not even through the saves as well. It's the challenges. It's the blocks. I feel like that number does not quite represent how many goals he actually stopped. Just a green wall, this man. Call him the Incredible Hulk for what he's able to achieve this time around. Yeah, absolute pleasure. But yeah, I think it was a definitely well-deserved series MVP, and they're going to go forward. Keep their playing stream alive. It is goodbye to Illusory Mirage. I was hoping to see them win today. But apparently liking the color purple isn't enough.
It's not, like I said, it's silly prediction versus ball knowledge prediction, and in the end, ball knowledge always wins. But yeah, Ark, don't pull up my my preseason rankings like you said you were going to do last time I mentioned this. But yeah,
don't check
I mean, no, don't do that. Let's instead, what we'll check the bracket, and we'll see where we stand going forward for the rest of today and for the rest of play-ins here. Game 1 done. Like we said, Scar taking down Mirage in a 4-1. They get to move forward and play against SCR Phoenix. This is an interesting matchup because we saw this in league play all the way back in week 3 here between these two teams. Now, it was a 2-2, and I had a look at the goals, the scores, just to see how this one went. It was, a little bit of an even series here and there, and then randomly, SCR just put 10 goals past Nate Ska in game 3. They did bounce back in game 4 and get the win, but yeah, it feels like this could be a bit of a mad series between these two teams. And then obviously later on, we get to close out our day with Unitox Chianina versus DSQ Caligo. So action all over, it's safe to be said here, Zach. And yeah, when we look at this series, a great one from all players involved. Certainly one that Nate are going to want to remember a bit more than Illusory, though.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for joining me, Hodge, for this series. I believe you're staying on for the next one. So
I think
you're going to be able to see that series through.
Yeah.
But what a pleasure, and best of luck to Scar against SCR Phoenix. But we'll be right back in about 10 or so minutes with the next series.
Welcome back, everybody, to the RSC for our second series of Rival Play-ins Day 2. My name is Hodge. Joining alongside me for this one is Kiki. And Kiki, we saw a wonderful series on stream before. 4-1 from Nate Scar as they took down Illusory Mirage and knocked them out of RSC 17 to move forward to their round 2 matchup for today. Now, this is essentially win and in, lose, and well, we'll see next season for both of these teams. You win, you make it to playoff Sunday, and yeah, that's essentially all that's on the line. It is Nate Scar who came out really strong in that last series, notably in their defensive stops that they were making. Ish was absolutely all over the place in the defense, making save after save after save, and Illusory, they kept trying to break them down with some of the offense, but it just wasn't quite enough. Now we see SCR Esports take to the pitch here. They're not quite as warmed up. They probably have just come off the back of a scrim, but at the end of the day, scrims aren't like the real thing.
Yeah, definitely. When the pressure is there, it's like a completely different team every single time. And, well, we've seen that warm-ups, aren't everything, because yesterday we had Carls, I believe, make it through the first round and then got absolutely annihilated by Flame, 4-0, almost flawless sweep if it wasn't for that final goal in that game. I believe it was Patroid that scored it as well, but still saying that I think the seeding might be correct in this one. But before we get into the predictions, let's take a look at some of the stats here that we have for both teams so we can get something a bit more, educated rather than guessing the prediction here. So as we see, obviously, that it's Phoenix having that better standings and even having that, much better win and loss ratio. But what the stat that interests me the most is the demos, It seems like Neat's team seems like they have a lot more physicality amongst their roster, but on the side of Phoenix, you have a lot more shooting power in that accuracy and clinicality. So could go either way here, Hodge. Any stats that kind of pick at your eye here?
I think one thing that I'm looking at here is the 25 wins there for SCR. It's very rare that you have a team that gets 25 wins and gets 4th place in the conference. So things very competitive across the tier here in Rival and in that conference, and I'm excited to see what happens. I think it's going to be a fun and interesting series for everyone involved, and it is just a matter of will the momentum here from Nate, will it sort of overbear the league play form that we've seen from this SCR roster, which has made them so good across their season. But we're going to have a look here at our team, at our player stats here, Kiki, and walk me through what we're looking at.
Right, so basically you can see 2 different variants of a roster. So basically one of them is a 4-player roster and one of them is a 3-man core roster. So in RSC, as all people know, you need to register a certain amount of games on the substitute bench. That depends whether you are joined mid-season or whether you start from the start. You can clearly see that from the side of Neat Esports, it's Cyrix that hasn't had that many games on the side of Neat. I'm probably expecting Ish, Conflict, and Franjul to get on the main roster. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hodge, but that seems like the main roster. And meanwhile, in the time, Phoenix have that sort of flexibility amongst the roster. You can see Keto, Trubal, Mox, and Ethan all registering at least 24 games, way above the actual minimum necessary to register yourself as a playoff team, as a play-in team for the season. So I'm expecting the flexibility for Phoenix. The substitutions are going to give them a little bit of an advantage here with knowing how they need to play around certain teams and maybe even switch it up from time to time. I think they have an advantage with that one, Hodge. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, we saw this match happen in the league play, and it was a 2-2 between both teams. But SCR, they had one game where they just put 10 goals past Nate, and it sort of just overpowered them. But yeah, I think this one could go either way. And when we look at these predictions, you've gone 4-0 to SCR Phoenix. I've gone 4-2 to Nate Scar there. I'm playing the upset. Why not? I think anything can happen in the play-in stage, and we'll be fun and interesting with it. So yeah. But just to have a look at, in the lobby to see who's joined us. We're still waiting on one of these teams, and then we'll be able to get started. For now, though, I wonder if we could just quickly pull up the play-ins bracket, just for anybody who maybe didn't join us or maybe wants to know what's ahead for later on in the day. Obviously, right now, we've got our match SCR Phoenix versus Nate Scar. Before that, we just watched Nate Scar take down Illusory Mirage in a 4-1. And then later on in the day here, Kiki, we've got Unitox Giannina taking on DSQ Caligo. One of those teams going to move forward in the upper bracket going into Sunday, and the other one is going to play the winner of this series in the lowers.
Yeah, still plenty of chances to make that upper bracket run, but sadly, depending on the seeding, you might never have a chance at, and this is the case. This is do or die scenarios here, and Scott definitely have a huge challenge ahead of them coming through in Phoenix. And yeah, it was a 2-2 in league play, but still, things have changed. Some teams have practiced a little bit more, and as consistency stands, Phoenix have a lot more of it. So game number 1, Mountfield Night, a best of 7. You have so much room to play this one out. You have so many games to go, and let's see how you start ourselves off here.
Well, we head into game number 1 between these two squads, and already it is going to be SCR Phoenix forced to make that save. Frandulo, who was crucial in that last series in getting Nate onto the offense, digging them out of their defensive scenarios as good as they were in them. But it was Ish who did it all in the defense, and now early on looking to do it in the offense. Ooh. But it's Frandulo once again who finds the first, who is just there in the rotation when needed.
Yeah, Frandulo able to get out there in time and put one behind at least, maybe a few more to come. Scav already off to a blazing start, it has to be said. Very aggressive, and maybe that aggression will pay off. EJ, aka Ethan, looking to get that one on the side here, unable to get much more than that. The pressure is still mounting, and they are not able to get that ball out, especially with control. They simply keep passing it away to the open arms of the Scat players, and there is still chances for both sides here to pounce first, even with that demo opening up stuff on the backline. There's another one player remaining in defense, but he will hold strong. It'll be true that gets that one all the way around, and so far still a 1-0 game, but things have calmed down a lot here. Well, thankfully for Scat, it could be said, and they still haven't mounted any sort of offense there. That's what's worrying me here for the side of Neat Esports for the time being.
Well, they do have that lead still to work with. Frandulo knocking that one downfield, be collected here by EJ, and sort of taken off in there by Conflict. It'll be SCR who are looking to dig themselves out of this defense. And they've done a good job to find that favourable 50 downfield, but unfortunately for them, it's going to be collected by Conflict, who's going to be more than happy to waste as much time as possible and find that great 50 over the top here. It is Nate once again looking to draw blood early on. Conflict down, Frandulo there for the shot, the double up here from Nate Scar, and well, they have come in fighting off of the back of that last series.
Yeah, the defense falling apart there for Phoenix, definitely not being able to get anything going, especially on the offensive front. And I believe I accidentally said Neat Esports not having the offense. I was thinking the other way around. I was thinking about the Phoenix that have 0 registered shots, and SCR really not able to break out of this defensive chokehold that Neat has them in. Scott looking for another here, quadruple tap, not going to yield itself a goal, but still that demo will enable plenty of opportunities to come. Open there, Frandulo, can he put it in? The 50 from Mox is good enough. And then it will only be the 2-goal lead that keeps them alive. But still, a 2-goal lead is monumental when you have 0 shots registered for your side. And this could be an opportunity though. 3 players caught out. Mox, the first one to it, will be true. Take a shot, and there's the first shot on the board. In terms of getting registered, could have been a goal as well. But not this time. They stay strong. 3 shots in the blink of an eye, and defense transition into offense beautifully, but can they keep it up?
We're going to have to find out. And down the other side, it will be Frandulo who pops it down, Mox to pick it back up, but it's Conflict who sort of dives back in for that. A bit of a clash in the midfield here. Nate Scar look to hold on to this 2-0 lead, and it's demos, bumps into the back line. Speaking of demos, there they are. SCR trying to alleviate some of this pressure, but the pressure is dialing back up because it comes in many forms and many players here early on. But yeah, 2 minutes still left here, Kiki, and still the pressure unrelenting for the most part. We've seen a couple of breakthroughs from SCR Phoenix, but really unable to find any big chances, and once again just get beat out in the midfield.
Yeah, still, it feels like they have the kind of idea on how to get around this defense. There could be a chance. That could be an open net looming. Frangula looking to make it. He can't. Getting caught out and getting punished. It seemed like that never should have happened. I don't think it was even a pinch. No, EJ's name is nowhere on the board. Mox, full credit to him. And it seems like Frangula kind of got a bit anxious, and he really could have just controlled that even, but he took it too early and just, well, technically own-goaled it.
Yeah, it's chaos on the kickoff here already off the back of that one. You can't be leaving your net open in that sort of situation. And this is going to allow SCR Phoenix to sort of use that momentum, come forward, come on the line, or maybe not. Maybe it's going to be sent down to the other side of the field. Conflict awaiting the challenge, but it's just gone over the top of him. He looks to hassle those players with some of those bumps and rotate out. And in the meantime, it's SCR Phoenix who try and get themselves back on the attack. A great soft touch there by Mox, and it will be continuing into the play. Just gets that one mid, but SCR unwilling to sort of send the house to the play, and instead going to be a little bit cautious as to how they approach things, which is, you know, not necessarily the approach I want to see with 45 seconds left.
Yeah, and Mox could have another opportunity here to find the equalizer. It seems like Phoenix are settling into this matchup just about now. It took him a little while to get online, but as soon as they have, the offense has been looking spectacular. It just feels like, unless it's a mistake from Sky, it seems like it's never going to go in, but there's the passing play. Mox looking to get that 50 at least to secure a potential follow-up, but no one is there to get by, courtesy of that demo onto HJ. And now still in turmoil here. 10 seconds. Will there be a winner? Will there be a potential equalizer? That is the question. 4 seconds. All they need to do is get this time off the board, and it will be Ish to get this one pre-jumped. No one is there to grab it. EJ able to combine with Mox, but the ball hits the ground, and game one goes to the side of Neat.
It does. Nate Scott taking the opening game here in this series, and already showing that you can come forward off of the back of that last series where you've got that momentum, where you've got the experience of playing on the stream, and use it to your full advantage. Great to see there from them, and SCR already going to be chasing the lead. I mean, your predictions already in the bin here, Kiki. You went for the 4-0 sweep.
Yeah, I was hoping for an early day.
But you're hoping for an early day from the wrong team, bro. Tap in.
Maybe. I mean, you know, the paper said it should be SCR, and apparently it's not happening, but we'll see.
Paper, it's postseason, anything can happen.
Well, yeah, anything can happen, but, you know, you never know. It felt like, I mean, Phoenix just definitely weren't there in the first half of the game.
Mind you, we say on paper, but so far every single playoff bracket has quite literally gone as on paper as you would expect. The favorites have just won. So, like, maybe you've got some legs to stand on, but unfortunately for you don't, because they just won game one. So, yeah.
Look, I went for the upset on the first one I predicted, which was yesterday. They got swept. They got 4-0. They're absolutely out the gates.
Right, okay.
And now I'm going with the favor on paper, and now I'm getting it wrong again. I'm just blessing the other team as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah. Nate, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So Scaf still has a very, very big task ahead of him, you know. It's still 3 games to go, so you never know what can happen, and it seems like SCR are only warming up. They have the latest goal, and they might have an opener here. And Hodja, dare say, it could be a bit closer affair than I would have thought, and rather, well, anyone would have thought.
Yeah, it certainly could be. And yeah, I mean, we head over to game number 2 here on the Coliseum, and already first blood drawn by SCR Phoenix. We don't need a map pool. Who cares? It happens. But yeah, you know what? I like the Coliseum. Maybe this is a hot take. I don't like Forbidden Temple. I don't like it.
Understandable. It's a bit flashy for some. EJ's flashy for everyone on stream. Okay, well, we see what he has to bring to the table. Maybe, but you know, still, you got the goal. That's what matters. You know. Yeah, yeah. Now that you say it, yeah. I know why I'm the brand risk here. I know why I'm considered the brand risk. Yeah, makes sense here.
Rocket League's a Peggy 3 game here, Kiki. Come on. But yeah, it's certainly great to see the offense come through from this side of SCR, where last game, they didn't really get the chance to do much of that. They were sort of beat back on many attempts, and now they have a 2-goal lead, and it's Nate Scar who are going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting to try and get back into this one.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to start off soon because it feels like SCR have only just started to build up the lead. Can they look to build upon it though? True will get that simple clear out to the side here. It will be Franjulo. Try to challenge it, but simply gonna leave it to Conflict, which is the right choice here. First man, the only thing you really need to do is force it out, or if it's an easy 50, take it. Franjulo, redirect looking likely, but it's not gonna head the way he intended it to go. In the meantime, it seems like Scat are still knocking on the door here. Mox trying to do as much as he can. He lets go of the ball, and EJ is looking to get that one onto the backboard here, but sadly for him, no one left to follow up, lacking a bit of communication here. Regardless, that could be a setup here. Two players are waiting, but great clear from Ish. We'll give some extra time here for Scat to regroup, get that boost, and get online again.
Certainly will. And Conflict trying to force it through those final two players. And Julo taking it up into the skies and allowing Ish with the follow-up. Conflict's got to be careful that you don't commit too hard to that one, though, because nobody's got boost, nobody's got a position on the field, and Mox, just like he did last game, has a clear all the way down over all three players.
Every single time will that be a goal. Overextending, there was so much, well, I want to call it lurking from the side of Neat, as they just simply still wanted to play around the corners of the boost, but they had no possession. They had no business being there, and with Conflict being a bit overextended, ready to go in, realizing that his first man still hasn't rotated out, there was simply nothing to gain from it, and 3-0 down, still, multiple answers required. No reply still from the side of Neat, and they haven't replied for the last 4 goals, technically, if you count in the game 1. So, still, a question remains. Have SCR finally turned it up a notch, or is Nate just getting warmed up again? Great demo, great one back. Okay, 2 goals remaining. Can they look to pull it through?
That's what we're going to have to find out. That's a great demo and a great bump there from Ish, like you mentioned. Just clear and open that space. And it feels like that's, you know, what this Nate Scar team are looking for. It's space. It's space to make those plays. And so far in the early stages of Game 2, SCR haven't been nice. They've not been giving it to them. They've been forcing their opponents to, if you want it, you've got to come and take it, which was very different to the last series, where it felt like Illusory were giving a lot more space for Nate to really work with across the pitch. They were sort of hesitant to challenge really early on in the series. And while things started to pick up towards the second half, it wasn't really enough from that point forward. But yeah, it's a bit more of a test here for Nate Scar with SCR than it was versus Illusory, and it's already showing here in the first couple of minutes of Game 2.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to be a few extra required here from the side of Nate to get over the line, as SCR really have locked down their defense. That's a passing play, ready to unlock it as we are speaking. There's not a third player remaining to follow that one up without any further risk, and that's kind of the speed that is lacking us on the side of Scat, as they do miss that one to make it a little bit scary. Could have been the final goal of the day needed, well, of the game needed actually, to secure game number 2 here. I'm still thinking it's game number 4 here because it's Utopia. I do apologize if it gets me a bit ookie bookie, but regardless, still moments to be found, as True still needs to reset here. Now's an opportunity. No demo found, but good enough to put him off. Infield pass from Julo, completely whiffs the ball, pre-jumping that one, and they're gonna have to go again.
Yeah, they certainly are. Back from the corner, trying to break it out, and Franzulo play the fake down to Ish. This is great plays starting to happen, but unfortunately for them, Mox was all the way back, positioned very well, and into the last minute of this game, you got to feel like Nate need a magic moment from somewhere. Who's it going to come from? Because right now, it's just SCR beating them back into the counter-attacks, beating them back into their side of the field, and Mox looking to put a shot on target, but cleared out nonetheless. Kiki, it just looks a little bit too, a little too late here. The lead already established for SCR, and that's more than enough for them to hold on from this point.
Yeah, and it seems like time is of the essence as 29 seconds do remain. I genuinely think that they're gonna just run out of time here. It seems like they can't get an offense going, especially with Mox getting into the backline here, finding the demos. 18 seconds, definitely not enough time to get to, while True is in possession of the ball. Great 50. Well, might as well call it 150 because Mox assisted him there. So 2 players against 1, always gonna go one-sided here. But here we go. Could still be an opportunity. There is a chance. No, not necessarily. It's dead. It's in the water. But maybe one for the road. Maybe one for the road for either team. No, not necessarily. It will be SCR striking back. And it's time for
It's
an
in the
actual
water?
best of 5.
It's in the water. Aquadome mentioned. Aquadome game 3.
Okay, no, listen.
I'm down.
Listen, the RAM on that map, I'm pretty sure the producer can't take it. I'm pretty sure there's no production in the world that can take it. Every single fish in there actually has a rendered lifespan and like their own individual lives rendered in at the same time. So you genuinely can't get the game moving above 20 FPS in there. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh my goodness, my goodness. Well, yeah, I see what you mean.
They also
it's
said that that Finding Nemo was recorded on Rocket League and Aquadome, by the way. So that's why it also takes so
really.
much storage. Yeah, apparently. And then the
Ah.
sequel will be on the Grasslands one. So that's kind of
Ooh, the more
yeah,
you
that's
know, the
kind of
more you know.
yeah, genuinely. So maybe even a third iteration for the Sandy one, but we'll see. We'll never know. In the meantime, though,
Never know.
1-1 here. What are we thinking? Are we actually getting DFH Stadium? That's the whole bet. That's
Yeah,
Can we
of
get a
course we
poll
are.
up in chat? Are we actually getting DFH
Of
Stadium
course
this
we
time?
are. Of course we are. Calm down, calm down. There's only
It's gonna be
so
Aquadome.
there's only so much crazy we can do. So we can only go so cray here on play-ins. We've got to we've got to save a little bit here, Kiki, for playoff because you know it's a big day. It's a big day.
It's fine. We don't need a sequence for Aquadome, you know. We had a sequence for Forbidden Temple. We ended up in Utopia. We can check the
Well-
scorelines from the previous game as well one more time, just for the just for good measure. But in case you forgot, it was the previous game going to SCR. You were saying, Hodge?
Yeah, I was the previous game going over to SCR there, and now
Oh.
we'll have to see how this one goes. But yeah, already it is going to drop down there, and it's just going to fly back in over to Conflict. Mox, great pop-up touch there, and it's going to drop down. Vandulo going to be denied there. And already early attacks here for Nate Scar. But yeah, I'm having a look at the caster schedule here, Kiki, and there's certainly you're going to be engrossed in a lot of the rival action over the next weekend here. But is this getting you excited for you know the rest of the playoffs?
Yeah, potentially.
Which two teams
Genuinely,
have you got casting in grand finals?
right now, you want me to bang out a prediction?
Yeah.
Right, one of them is gonna be Toby's team because he's my goat. You know,
let's go.
he loves me. He loves to see me though. That could be a goal here. EJ crossbar does read it. Wow. Okay. I did not expect. You know what? I think he got lucky. Dare I say it? Dare I say it? I think he got lucky a little bit there.
Well, it doesn't matter. A goal's a goal.
Yeah.
It doesn't
goes
matter
there.
how lucky you are, how much the stars are aligned. As long as you get the goals, you get the games. And as long as you get the games, you move forward in the bracket. So yeah, but yeah, Toby's team, I like that. We love MPB, but who else?
We're still waiting for extra information to be landing.
Somebody tell Kiki another team and rival, please. Anyone?
Yeah, just give me a name. Give me a name. You know what, Gadalians? Why? Gadalians not even in it, are they?
They're not even in it.
They're not even in it. Yeah. No,
I see. PR.
Expected
PR
too much.
statement.
Expect too much. Is 20R still here? Is 20R still here? 20R used
They're
to
not
have
even
great
franchise.
results. Oh boy, we're gone. We're so gone. We're so gone. It's been a while. It's been a while. You know what? Dexterity, they always make it.
I'm having a look. I want to see if you've actually got a team that's made top 6 here.
I think Dexterity, they're consistent. Dexterity is consistent, right? Otherwise, I'm gonna have a word with Shad.
Find out.
Yeah, they are. Illusory is, but they're already out, so.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah. Dexterity got 7th. So yeah. Well, why don't you just turn forward to the next series on stream to find out who is another team who's going to be in that upper bracket. TSQ versus Unitox after this series, and there you go, pick one of those teams. But for now, we're dialing in with the rest of this match, and we're looking towards Nate Scar to see what sort of pressure they can cook up. A great infield there from Conflict. Bit of a weak shot from Ish, but wasn't really having the power to make that one happen, and neither can any of the players as it's cleared out for a second. But Ish looking to dive back in. Great pass over to Conflict. And they're looking for sort of a pass back over to the side wall.
No.
All right then. Oh, we're playing the fakes. I'm down.
Okay, I just saw a poll in Twitch chat. I am really scared about that one. I am definitely vetoing that one. There has been a call to get Aquadome on map 4. Yeah. You know what? I'd enjoy it. I'll entertain it. Why not? Let's go. Let's run it. In the meantime, though, we're gonna still need to see the utmost level of defense here from the side of SCI if they want to keep this lead alive. Maybe no, maybe we need the offense! And offense might just be the best defense. A great passing play coming through on this play here as Mox gets that one out of the corner just off the wall so he avoids the player. Gets him off the field as well, because why not? And EJ, he's never missing that one.
Yeah. That's certainly the case. Now moving forward, though, into the remainder of this game. 2-0 lead in the hands of SCR. And Nate, past couple of games, really been coming up blank on a lot of their opportunities, a lot of their chances. Ish up for this and able to clear it back out to the sidewall. But Nate, you know, they can worry about their defense. It's all they want, but they need to get back on the attack and get 2 goals in the next minute.
Oh,
and
there's
40
one.
seconds. And maybe it's the opportunity because Conflict's got a redirect all the way downfield. A great skim touch there to find the first of a 2 that's needed.
Yeah, nothing too special. Even with the bounce, he's able to get 105. You know, he kept it simple, not overextending his, chances, not even turning into a double tap or even getting the extra power. He was just like, okay, needs a little bit extra power to make sure it goes in, and that's enough. That's beautiful. And that is the basics that you need to cover if you're in Rival, and Conflict is doing just the job here. But remember, tournament life on the line here, as this has lowered down to a best of 5. The first one to take this game will have plenty of room to breathe, as the sigh of relief will definitely kind of be one of the sides they're taking, but thankfully that one doesn't go in. There was so much confusion on the backline for SCR. Not sure what would have happened in the team talks if that one was come true on the scoreline. In the meantime, FranJulia looking for that sort of demo on the backline. I'm not sure why, because there was simply no one behind the ball, and now the counterattack is mounting. They still have that boost to make it work with, especially Conflict over to Ish. It's a little bit far-fetched, but I respect the effort here, Hodge.
It's always good to see a team playing with confidence even when they're behind here. And I guess at this point, you kind of have to. Speaking of confidence, SCR send 2 players in and they get nothing from it. But maybe a couple more wits have come through. Then maybe that's going to open up the gates a little bit more. 30 seconds left. One team just trying to hold on. One team trying to chase down another goal, and Conflict might be able to if he finds that infield touch, but it will be blocked immediately there. Into the final 20 seconds we go here, Kiki. Both teams looking for something, and Mox will deny the attempt.
Oh, shot coming through here. Conflict a bit too high over the top. It will be FranJulia looking to take another, but denied off the goal line once more. EJ makes the heroic save. Can there be another split chance of greatness? Not quite. Beautiful fake coming through, and that will be the lead over into the hands of the Phoenix, as SCR claim game number 3.
Yeah, they certainly do. They certainly do. 2-1 up in the series is what SCR Phoenix find themselves. And now we get to see, is that pollen chat worked? Are we going to the land where the fishies live?
So apparently poll in chat worked, and Masters is now scared to upset the players. Listen. The players will play where it's needed to be played. We're getting Aquadome. We're getting Aquadome.
Yeah,
you know what? Just switch the. Wait, I need to find some water. Wait, I need to build. Give me a fish tank. I'll get the pre-roll. I'll get the pre-roll. Wait, I got some water in here. All right, here's the Aquadome. Here it is. Look. Oh my god! I got everything. Look at that. I got all the rolls. All the rolls needed. Look at that. I mean, so good. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever, man. I mean, just run it up. Let's go.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
It's my fault. The players have said yes. They've agreed to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're going to Aquadome here for game number 4. I don't know if anyone asked or anyone really cares, but it's happening. And for this Nate Scar team, they are looking for a crucial game here from under the seas to put them back above water before they've sunk all the way out of this season. Just like
that one. So many puns available here, and yeah, we had to remove Nemo and the gang. You can see, a little bit, maybe. You know what? That's a bit too many. You know, you got to spread them out throughout the game. You know, you can't just overfeed the people. Too much tuna will just make people sick. You know. It's just going to give them nausea. But in the meantime, as you can see, we have exterminated the life of the fishies in the ocean around us. There is not a single one remaining due to just dumping heinous amounts of oil into the sea. And that's how we're going to look to get the RAM, get the FPS for you guys over there at home watching. So good start to the map. Great one.
Yeah, I mean, sure, save the turtles, I guess. But into game number 4, we are a minute already elapsed, and nobody even putting one past each other just yet. Still looking to see who the first is going to be. And it'll be cleared away for the time being. EJ trying to back involved, trying to shoot that one on target, but picked up here by Ish. Cleared towards this midfield line. And it will be Frangelo who just gets beat out there. The same for one of his teammates as well. And Nate, I want to see them get back on the offense here a little bit more. Maybe this is the opportunity for them to do so, because Conflict's just slotted the open from the other side of the map.
Absolutely. I mean, well, you know, sometimes when that one goes in, you're just like, ah. But like, still, a goal is a goal, as one would say, and even if it's not from your pure offense, it still needs to question the defense of the opposing team. It's about who makes less mistakes here, because that is the core of Rival, punishing the mistakes of your opponents. And here we go. Ish, maybe with a bit of magic to add on to it. EJ gonna have to just back up here. It's making it awkward. Mox being forced to make the save. And now the offense is truly building for the side of Neat. They're looking to stop this boost down. They're doing that wondrously. Conflict was looking to take a shot there. Gets 50'd away and chooses to just play it safe there against Mox. And finally, seems like some time on the ball is granted for the offense of Phoenix. Maybe a follow through. True. Gonna have a free shot, but Frangulio makes the shot. And so far, I've made him Italian. Let's see how much more he can bring on the side of the goalposts between these two teams. It seems like his defense has been peculiarly, honestly, insane. Above all else, he has been always the man to praise when a save has been found on the net of Neat.
Well, ball downfield there. Only Mox pick it up, but let True follow that one. Frandulu, what am I on about? It's a difficult name, I have to say. I've done it multiple times last series. Another shot sort of ricochets towards this SCR Phoenix net, but picked up again. Kiki cleared away. They're going to look to hold on to the lead. It's Nate who's going to look to hold on to this lead here. They're finding the pressure coming back down. Mox touch towards net, looking to get involved again, and so are the rest of SCR Phoenix, as they look to try and level the scoreline, and they do just that here with 2 minutes remaining.
Honestly, that looked desperate, but they just threw the kitchen sink at them one after another, and they continued to dominate the back line of Scat, but still needing a response here. Definitely needing a response. So, do they have time to make it happen? That is the question. I'm willing to say this one might go to overtime, because both teams are finally, aware of the skills of each other. They are aware of how to play defense, how to play offense. This one might as well just stay 1-1, but it seems like SCR overextending a little bit. If for Julio got a little bit of a stronger shot there, he could have maybe gone the lead over towards Neath, but it seems like time is of the essence for both teams, and both of them really wanting to end this one regulation. Crossbar follow through as well. True, gonna get that one onto the board, and it will be SCR completing the comeback for the time being.
It certainly will be. It will be that second goal that flies its way in there from SCR Phoenix. And, well, it's Nate Scar team just trying to find something, trying to find anything, but they're not getting it. Smock's almost slotted to third, excuse me. For the time being, though, like I mentioned, he picked up, not allowed. Nate really need to get some more control onto this, because they're just opening up too many mistakes which are being exploited by their opponents.
Still, moments away from disaster, as backs against the wall might be forced. And SCR looking to make that happen onto the backboard. Follow through, not good enough from Mox. It seemed like it could have been the finish. It could have been the end of it in terms of map number 4 coming to a conclusion. Mox now onto the backboard. No follow-through needed, but there will be. Conflict forced out with the save. Can he look to break out here? Looking to get to 50 at least. He does. EJ forcing any sort of contact out. It will be Frangulio needing to race that ball. Mox gets a flip reset, but it's not used for anything here, as EJ is the one still on the ball, but Ish finds it in the last 30 seconds, gives a lifeline to Scat, and there could be a game on the books.
What a setup there from Conflict. Just dunks it in, perfect, quite literally sees the map, hears the call, and answers it perfectly with 30 seconds left, sends them swimming with the fishies, but now they've got to try and take advantage of the opportunity that they've given themselves and put through this third goal. 20 seconds remain. That's a bad miss, and Mox will punish. SCR Phoenix claw things right back. And it doesn't matter if you can have your moments of heroics, because you miss a ball like that, and it all can come collapsing in front of your very eyes.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that seems disastrous. Honestly, that's a sincere shame. But let's see if there still is a miracle to be had. No, it doesn't look like it. EJ is able to put this one on the other side. And I know I predicted them to win, but regardless, I really would have loved this one to head into map 5 as a potential equal scoreline. Phoenix, though, take it away, and Neat have a big task ahead of them. Backs against the wall now, no second chances, Hodge.
Yeah, no second chances indeed. It's all to play for from this point forward, and Nate Scath are gonna really need something here. And you would have thought that game maybe would have sort of reignited something for them if they won it, but not quite able to get it over the line. And I've just seen a poll in chat. If we get there,
it's fine. No one.
we're not doing that. We're not doing
It just
that.
got over everyone's heads. I mean, Masters even got scolded earlier for it. So,
did he actually?
Yeah, he did actually. I just checked general in the in the staff piece. It's not good for Masters. It's really not good for Masters, but it's okay. It's okay. We love our boy. He might still have a surprise for us. But if not, Beckwith Park is our next destination.
Let's just go to Beckwith Park and make sure nobody gets in trouble. But yeah, I mean, especially, for this Nate Scar team, it is their season on the line from this point, right? They're going to be wanting to be comfortable, wanting to, sort of feel like this is a normal series for them. And we saw them play versus this team of SCR Phoenix back in week 3. And came out with a 2-2 draw. It almost got it there in the final seconds, weren't quite able to. Can they push back here when they need to stay alive? Or will SCR Phoenix just power through and get the series locked down now?
They still have time to definitely, get this one back. It's technically, just 3 ranked games in a row. If you get your mindset there, it could be happening. Frangula, can you put it in? No, off the post, but Ish will be there to collect it. First goal found. All right, let's see if they can get this show on the road and maybe, just maybe, provide a miracle for everyone.
Well, the first goal and the hopium is there. But now you've got to make yourselves, everyone, and us a believer here. If you're Nate Scott, and quite a road back into this one, and it comes from the skies. Will be what are brought back towards that midfield line, but only for a second, because Nate want to cook up this pressure a little bit more. Conflict playing a little bit reserved here as third man until the demo is opened up there by Nish. Frangelo from that corner, back in field. It's Nate circling around, looking to see what they can do from this point forwards. And, well, they did quite a bit, but only for a second, because EJ looking to get the edge dribble over the top of everyone, but can't quite get past that final player as it's saved away there by Ish.
Yeah, and still, the offense feels like it's mounting, but this time it's on the wrong side for Neat Esports, as it seems that they seem to be lacking in terms of the answers, and the misses are coming alive. Oh, we're gonna just erase that one from the memory of Ish. I don't think he would like to see that one on replay. That is just very unfortunate. Open net, never gonna miss that one. True. Staying true to his name and getting that one over the line. 1-1 equalizer found. Phoenix wanting to end it in 5 if the chance is given. But Conflict has other ideas, and Conflict is the one on the uprising, giving Neat back that lead in an instant.
Certainly is. It's a great kickoff for Conflict and for Nate Scott. Like you mentioned there, Kiki, they regain the lead, but there's still so much to deal with for them from this point forward, and Conflict again looking for more. As he powers that ball into the attacking half, but somebody's got a challenge, and EJ's not going to make it easy. Ish can maybe get another touch here as he looks to pass this one back out over to Conflict, but a little bit deep into the back line. It's going to allow Mox to control it for a second, and Frangelo there, drop it down. Looks for that bump over the top of Ish. Conflict has to got to react and come online quickly, but I think from this point forward, you're just looking for everyone to be on the same page here, Kiki, and well, thankfully for these players, it's not proving too difficult of a task here already in Game 5.
Yeah, and I don't know. If it feels like it's still kind of sturdy in terms of the counterattacks. Look, I mean, SCR able to just turn the defense into offense any given second, and one demo, one good play, and everything could go back to an even game. So, really, I am excited that Nate is fighting back. I'm excited for my boy Conflict that he is fighting back, but it seems like time is of the essence for a goal to fall on either side because the pressure is mounting on both ends, but it seems like SCR are using it to more of an advantage. That's good. Avoid the demo, but Frandulia is still giving that way, and it seems like they go back into the possession of SCR. SCR really need to get on the possession game because they can't keep giving away these chances because it's gonna just either waste time or get them a goal behind once more.
Yeah, well, now over into the hands of Mox, takes it up that corner, looking to try and slot it. Back over through HJ there. And so Ish pops it high. And AceScat looks to try and see what they can do to pick up another goal. Mox, a little bit awkward, realizes he's not going to reach up to that one. It'll be down to Frangelo, looks for the passing play, and Ish isn't quite able to get up in the air quick enough. Lead still held on to here, Kiki, by Nate Scott, but with every passing second is every little bit much more that SCR Phoenix are going to continue to get angrier at what they are looking at. They're going to continue to want revenge, and as they pop that one high and look for the follow-up, maybe they'll just get it, but no, Mox can't quite place the shot.
Oh, it seems like they might just hold on. It seems like it's an impenetrable wall forming on the side of Ska, but is there a redirect to be had? EJ looking to make that one happen. It will be a simple one to get away by Frandulia. Oh, okay, wait. He's just leaving it for Ish there, but Demo on the back line here. You're missing a player. He did spawn in time, but it caused a bit of commotion here with that double commit. But Frandulia, oh boy, he gets the counter attack. He gets the Demo. Anyone left to follow? Ish flips away. No! Oh boy, that's disastrous. I didn't expect it. My voice just said no at the same time as well.
You just like dial back the years by about 10.
I had to. I was just like, that was a free chance, and they just didn't take it. They might get punished for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of chances there, it was a great one there for SCR Phoenix, but they weren't quite able to really find anything from it, and Conflict looks to pass it down over to Frandulo, but now it's left Ish in such a difficult spot, and SCR haven't quite been able to play that one perfectly, but everyone's missed the ball. They got a little bit hectic there, but maybe they still get out alive. Ish down at the side wall, ball popped up, Mox looking to get it past that first man, but yeah, it will just look like it's going to drop around. Hang on a second, or will it? Or will we get 0 seconds from EJ?
Oh my god!
What a touch on the pass, an incredible double that sends everyone guessing, and he just felt like something was in the air, and now it's Nate Scar's season that hangs above the chopping block.
Now, it seems like it was done, it was dusted, right? It seemed like it was okay. Game 6, game by game, we take it. No. Game 5, not even over the line yet, and EJ has ideas. True, looking for the redirect, can't quite get it. Ish won't get the save. Boost is running low. The only man who can stop it is Conflict, and he is looking to chase this one out. He's in a bad position. EJ taking to the skies, getting the shove. True, can he end it? Can he finish the season? Not quite. It could have been the finishing blow for Neat, and that could have been disastrous, but they hold on for the time being. They get this clear away with a few extra demos on the line as well, just to eliminate the bodies of SCR Phoenix. And maybe, just maybe, they have another chance at lifeline. It's getting scary. Some of these chances, it seems like they're crumbling. It seems like it's only a matter of seconds before it gets over the line, Hodge.
Feels like that could be the possibility. That could be something. We're seeing demos from both sides, both teams sort of testing the waters here, but the waters at this point aren't to be tested, they're to be thrived in. And one team has done it way more than the other this series. But now, due to that 0 second goal, it's made things so awkward for Nate Scott. And you have to think that one might have sort of brought them a little bit of disappointment, almost shattered things a little bit, but you can't quite do that. You've got to come online, you've got to step up, and Ish is looking for that double, drops down to Frangelo, cleared away, and Conflict has touched back to his own corner that EJ is now going to look to capitalize on. SCR looking to get feisty in the offense, and Frangelo has to clear it to the sidewall. It's a chance gone willing again, and how many more of them will they get to try and escape from this?
Yeah, it seems like they're one step closer every single time, but the defense holds on strong. If only it could have been in that regulation period on that last shot, we wouldn't have been in this scenario here. Franjulia getting a simple shot. Mox a bit late to that one. I was getting a bit scared that that save wouldn't be as simple, and, well, it really wasn't. It will be true, getting this one off the wall. In the meantime, a simple back and forth here. A redirect might be needed. A great attempt. It will be a follow-through. 50 only as EJ gets behind it on the other end. He is taking some glorious 50s to help set up his team. And maybe even an extra few needed to get that goal over the line. It seems like a stronger Nate. It seems like an open net. Mox makes the save, though. Diving across. If that had a little bit more venom, we could have been talking about something again. Now, tables have turned as the offense is mounting. Conflict trying to put another, but finally it kind of gets fizzled out, and we have some time to catch a breath here, Hodge.
We do, only for a second, because we know how deadly these attacks can be.
Oh, yeah.
SPR Phoenix, they want one of their own, and it comes from True from this ceiling, gonna drop it down, find the bump onto the last man. All you need to do is put that shot past, but Ish not gonna.
Wait, there it is.
Looks to
No!
the defense, but no, off the post. We play on here on Beckworth Park.
One of the best games we witnessed here in the last 2 days has to be said. And it's neck and neck. You never know who's going to strike the next blow. And one of them could be the final one. The one that ends the season for a whole team. And it seems like it's inevitable. But regardless, there's still hope. 1 game to go in terms of surviving. 2 games in terms of winning. Let's see if they can get it over the line. Ish forced to make that 50 over the top. True beats out 1. But Conflict gets the security that's needed to make the save happen, but look at the boost. It's so low for the side of Neat, and it seems like they can't hold on. But a double commit from Phoenix will slow them down and give some braving room for the side of Phoenix, for the side of Scott here.
Yeah, you talked about it there. This is only for survival here for Nate Scar. You want to be thriving, you want to be winning, and for them, they're going to have to go to Game 7 to do that. For now, SCR, they can play with their food a little bit, and certainly not wasting any chances because they're diving in. They want this one more than anyone, but so does Conflict as he sends downfield over to this side wall, and Ish to pick it up. True touch back out over to his teammate. As SCR Phoenix are looking to just hold on, looking to sort of play on this counter-attack, and maybe EJ get the touch needed. And Conflict to pass one to the side wall, going to be diving in there. And Mox pop this one high. That's a bit of a mistouch. Frangelo has to react and does, but before he gets anything more, he's taken off the pitch for his good measure. Now SCR can find the killing blow after 4.5 minutes of overtime. It took 0-second heroics. It took breaking the backs of the defense, but it's True who finds the nail in Nate Scar's coffin and secures SCR Phoenix a spot in the playoffs.
Heroics were needed, and boy, were they delivered. I mean, sadly, it's not the underdog story, you know, but still, it felt so close for Scott. They had the lead throughout the entirety of regulation, basically, and only in the last, well, not even the last second. There was no seconds. In the last shot, in the last moment, it was all ripped away, ripped apart by SCR, and then an overtime, almost, well, warranting an extra game. That was 5 minutes, almost 4 minutes and 40 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, but the stats speak about how close this series was actually, not just the 4-1. It was genuinely neck and neck, and only 4 goals dividing these 2 teams apart, considering there is a 3-series gap, is astonishing. 50-50 on field domination, 50-50 on ball possession. Crazy. Cinema.
Yeah, it felt like once SCR got the ball rolling, it was just too little too late to really stop them. Nate, they obviously had that early momentum back in game 1, but past that, they weren't really able to hold on. And SCR just essentially bulldozed them out of the series. With a game like that in Game 5, with how it went, I mean, it's so difficult to sort of come back from a situation when you need to, like that, where you get 0 second goal, excuse me, and you need to then go forward in overtime and win that overtime to keep your season alive. I don't envy the position that Nate found themselves in there whatsoever. But now we move forward to our series MVP, and it's EJ here for SCR Esports.
Half the goals, it has to be said, he has been crowned that, well, deserved winner in the meantime. And yeah, 16 shots, quite the arsenal to have on your team, alongside 7 saves as well. You know, nothing to scoff at, especially considering the offense that was brought here from Neat throughout game 1 to 5, and it really felt like they couldn't have gone away. You know, maybe if map 4 wasn't Aquado, maybe they would have won that one as well, but we'll never know. We'll never know, Hodge. We'll never know. But for now, let's take one last look at the bracket before we do head to a short break, just to check where we are at right now. So, Hodge, give us a bit of a rundown before we do send you off as well from today.
Yeah, we started the day with Scar versus Mirage there in that first matchup, and Scar got the better of Mirage, taking them down in a 4-1. And then obviously we saw this matchup where the winner would move forward to Championship Sunday and play against the loser of this next series very, very shortly. But it was Phoenix who took down Scar in a 4-1 victory, mirroring the win from Scar in that first round. But for now, we've got to get Phoenix an opponent, because SCR Phoenix, they made it through. They got that win, like we said. We've got to give them an opponent, and we've also got to give an opponent to Nexus Thread as well in that upper bracket, who are eagerly waiting for their upper bracket team. It is going to be DSQ taking on Unitox, and that's coming up
I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
After 5 minutes of grueling overtime, once more we are left with another team out of the contention for playoffs, but there is still one more to go in terms of basically a seeding matchup here. I today am joined by GM. Hodge had to depart, so GM is here to give us all the action that's necessary. So how you doing, GM?
I'm doing all right. We're just over 2 previous series. Now we're moving on to a final series of the night. We're still in Rivalland. We're on to an up bracket match. It is Caligo, who came second in the Glaciers, up against Chianina, who came third in the Ignis conference. As far as predictions go, I've gone with 4-2 to Caligo, and it looks like you've gone with the same as well.
Yeah, kind of, these are kind of the only players who I kind of know from RSC15, RSC16 in the previous seasons that I know that do ball out. I was even in contention for them to take that number 1 spot off of them, but I simply couldn't. It was Mensu, Bailey, and a few extra players, and this time it's them on the line, and as we can see, the stats kind of do favor them as well here slightly, GM.
Yeah, it does look that way. I mean, more game wins and more goals, less goals against, crucially.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in a game of such fine margins, like having a really good defense can really go a long way. And also more saves as well, so it shows that they are, it's like the shots they do face, they do a good job of keeping them out. I mean, maybe not so many demos, but also like much higher shooting percentage, so they really make their touches count.
Yeah, and as we can see, that the DSQ roster is definitely still sticking. Yo-Yo being the captain and the owner and the founder of the DSQ, you know, I'm pretty sure he's going to sit this one out and let the main team deal with it. Bailey, Tidier, and Mentsu going to be fielding to the stage here, and you can see that they do love racking up those goals, but what's more important as well is those save stats that they are able to bring forwards, and this time, Giannina might have a bit more of a difficult bite to swallow than rather throughout the rest of the league play, but we're all here to see it done. Who takes the upper bracket? The also important one to take the stage here. Playoffs on the line in terms of the upper bracket or the lower bracket. Manfield, here we come.
Well, it looks like it's actually going to be a fairly neutral kickoff as Bailey getting a better, I believe it's Alex in there. I was not really sure how to pronounce that one, but now meant to put it back into Mill, but it's just not really in a position for any of his teammates to attack his Tider. He's just forced to hang back because, again, the ball wasn't really in a position for a shot to come in, but it's a fairly decent spur pressure from Caligo early on. Even if there aren't any shots, they are keeping Giannina back. Enver and Hoff, but Tider doesn't get there. It could have put for Henrik, but his shot goes wide. To be fair, it was a fairly difficult angle, but still, no shots from either team after 45 seconds.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to be a bit of a calmer start to it. Previously, we had a few kickoff goals, you know, start ourselves off every single game, but now it seems like it's a bit of a peaceful one from both sides, just trying to experiment and see where the other team is at, just to kind of get their motions down, get their rotations in play, and warm up to the actual team that they're going to be playing, because they're going to be here for the long haul. 7 matches potentially, and there's a shot following through here. Bailey with the first proper chance for the DSQ here, and maybe a few more extra to come.
Yeah, it's a decent enough shot, but Henrik perfectly positioned to make the save, and that's all that it came to. But it is fairly decent spur pressure for Cargo. And here's another shot. That's a great save by Vel, but they're still not done with. But instead, that's a very good clearance to initially relieve the pressure, and it hasn't gone to waste. Goes onto a backboard, but now Tidy gets beaten to it by Vel on a second touch, drops down to Alex. It could be dangerous, but Bailey gets a good enough touch to keep Giannina at bay. But now, just seems to be quite a few broken sequences of play. There's like a few balls into Mill that just aren't really in a position to be attacked. But there's a decent one, but it just didn't come out the right way for Tidy. Now Henrik, does he get enough boost? Let's go for bump, but Bailey still makes the save, and has such a good chance for Giannina on the counter attack. Caligo just about able to get back.
Now onto the backboard. Still the counter attack coming through. They're knocking on the door, but simply can't find the frame of it. The biggest issue being there, the demos as well, they're lurking constantly. Toller able to get another one on the lines. It will be Mensu looking to take this one away, but simply unable to make it worth any much more than that. Another one, 50, found. Henrik looking for that infield pass, but no one is there waiting. His teammates just simply recovering for boost, and now Mensu has space to play on the ball here, uses the flip, maybe a double in toe! Not necessarily, just the crossbar, a little bit too shallow on the angle, but it could have been a miraculous start for Caligo.
Yeah, very close, but they are getting closer to that goal, and they do eventually find it, and you have to say, they have worked hard for it, but the pass into Mill was they finally got it right, and Mensu coming in at that front post, playing it back across, and Giannina, maybe they just weren't ready for a shot, but that powerful, and you have to say Caligo, they have deserved that goal.
Yeah, and it seems like, I don't know, it feels like both teams could have broken the deadlock there. There was great chances for both teams, and it feels like it was just kind of that, you know, as you said, you know, the game of margins, and it seems like it came to that as Caligo added more pressure, added more fuel to the fire. They were able to put him down. The passing play is great, but Vel misses the shot here. Unable to get over the line. And in the meantime, we'll have Tidale looking to break away here onto the backlines. He's going to be able to get one demo. Mensu poised up for the shot. Well, makes the save. And so far, keeps it at 1 goal length for Giannina to reach. It seems like they're just running out of time though. 50 seconds only remaining.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't rule them out. They did have that good chance on the counter-attack earlier. Didn't quite come together, but I mean, I certainly wouldn't count them out. This could be dangerous as Avelios, the second touch, still too high. And now Alex, it comes to Henrik.
It goes in.
It's rather scrappy, but they do get the equaliser that they've been looking for.
It took a little while. It took a triple commit only to get him out of position. Henrik was able to find it around everyone and won all game. And we have just started, ladies and gentlemen, and it could be overtime on the horizon anyway. Mensu taking the skies here, looking to finish this one in regulation. Passes it over to Tidy, who's already up. The shot, it's a little bit too wide and with not enough power on it. It's going to just go into the favor of Vel here. Takes the flick over the top. Hendrik with the 50 and the dunk! It will be a comeback dream come true for Henrik as he is able to get the brace and get himself on the spotlight for Giannina.
Yeah, but just the last 30 seconds or so, they've really turned it on. And, well, the stats may say that they've had more shots. It does feel like they kind of stolen it, that they have kind of, it's been a bit of a smash and grab. Although that's not to say that Caligo can't find themselves a late equaliser themselves. But Bailey trying to find the pass to Tide here, but Alex comes over, challenge, and Giannina win the first game.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like it for the first 4 minutes and, well, 40-something seconds, I believe, but it came to pass, and Giannina came out on top. It doesn't matter how well you tried, it matters how many goals you converted, and this time Giannina came out on top, courtesy of Henrik. That brace definitely yielding the result that was necessary for Giannina to start the series off on a good foot.
Yeah, and I think well, I think they'll be wondering like that all that early pressure, they weren't able to score from it, and it has come back to bite them. But they did sort of get it right towards them. They did have that pass which led to the goal there. But if you can get those together more consistently, then I think they have a good chance of getting themselves back into the series. But I think it's just getting it right more consistently.
Yeah, and, well, consistency is key here. In Rival, you are really expecting to dominate on the mistakes of your opponents, but it was just Henrik was able to exploit that sort of moment of weakness from Caligo, and meanwhile, on the other end, Caligo just set up a great passing play, so really, making mistakes in defense that should be made here from Caligo. On the other hand, you have Giannina, who are happy to get that one out the way as soon as possible and maybe head into a fresh start here in game 2 and maybe start off a little bit better. Tola looking for a shot, crossbar and down. The fourth defender of Caligo gonna strike true, and now a clearance on the other side of the field. It will be Henrik looking to get anything past them if possible, but not much more to go in terms of the first goal needing to be found. It seems like pressure is mounting. It seems like it's only a matter of time before one team breaks.
Yeah, you feel that there really should be a challenge coming in earlier from Caligo. I think they can consider themselves lucky not to have conceded already, because they're just very slow to challenge after that initial shot came down off the ball. It feels like there should have been someone challenging that shot that came off the ball, but there just wasn't. Not sure why they're being so passive. And I think Giannina, they're starting to sense that weakness, but no one's really committing to that one, and they instead hang back. And now they're trying to get some of the counter-attack. Henrik has stayed up, he gets a shot, and Alex finishes it off.
Now there's a way to start yourself off, and there was a chance to get that one around. I mean, the passing plays are finally yielding results. It's not just for the mistakes of the opposition, it's actually them trying to cook some stuff up. So Giannina finally finding the, well, secret formula that was missing in offense.
Yeah, and now it is tied here, looking for an immediate response. Maybe not so much now, but Mentsu, that's a good shot, but saved by Alex. And now Bailey, is it his turn? Trying to play it back to Mentsu, but Alex, that's a vital touch off the backboard. And now Tidy, I think he's just expecting Wolverhampton to touch it, but they just didn't. And it's still not completely away. Now Henrik, he's one-on-one with Tidy, trying to follow the pass, trying to go for a bump, but Tidy dodges all of it. And now Bailey, he's been bumped. He's the last player back, but the shot is not on target. Chianina have overcommitted, but the clearance forwards is not particularly useful one. And Caligo, these are they're struggling to really get anything going so far.
Yeah, the possession is lacking. The midfield battles are being won consistently by Chianina, and they simply keep the possession rolling whenever they have that offense. Finally, Mentsu is able to get this one without a 50, but regardless, it's into the open arms of Alex. And right now, it seems like there's still a question of how do you set up an offense from the side of Chianina. You gotta start with some possession here first, though, and maybe a passing play even to break down those 50s that are constantly at your throat from Chianina. And maybe, just maybe, you're going to have to get that pass infield to find the finishing touch. And as we speak, Tidy is going to get one on target. Vel is going to be forced to make that save. But still, the pressure not done, not dusted. Tola's going to get that one out to Henrik. As in the meantime, Vel is able to keep some possession here with that 50 as well. Still, no significant chance found from Caligo, though.
No, and I think that's they need to take better care of a ball. I think they need the touches. They need to be more useful, and that is better, but still doesn't lead to a goal. Now there needs to be a challenge, but it just isn't tidy. Just lacking boost there. Menzi just trying to put it back in, but Velios on the back ball making clearance. Back into Mo it goes. Bailey just too high, and Mentsu can't turn in time, and so Tidy has to cut the rotation, plays it to Mo. Bailey stayed up, but gets speeded to it. Mentsu's the only player back, does make the save, and Henrik skies it. That would have been a chance to put the game to bed. I'm not sure if he realised the last defender had zero boost. There was a chance he could concede at the other end, but Henrik just about does enough. And that's a real heart and mouth moment for Caligo. I think they can consider themselves lucky not to have conceded again there.
In that scenario, even if the defender has 1,000 boost, he's not making it if the shot is good enough. If the shot was just on target, that's a shame. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite them. That's the only thing they're hoping for. This game could have been a 2-goal gap, and it might as well be the equalizer coming in next if they are to convert their chances here. Caligo really wanting to find him. Hendrik doesn't miss twice. Able to get that one across the board. Chianina making up for the mistake earlier, making up for the missed chance, and converting it this time through the same man who has been responsible for it.
Yeah, I feel like Mentsu should been able to make that challenge on the wall. I'm not sure if just Velios getting there that little bit faster caught him out. They are trying to get something from kickoff. Bailey just gets beaten to it by Henrik, but I think that's been the difference. I think Chianina, they've been more proactive. I think they've been that little bit faster to those loose balls, challenging that little bit earlier. And Caligo, they just haven't really been able to adapt to that. It just feels like they haven't really been able to breathe. And even when they do get chances, Giannina, they just seem to be positioned perfectly so that there is a player back to make the save. And last few seconds now, could it be the icing on the cake? Alex tries to find a passer to Mo, but there's no one there. And now Tidy, surely too late for Caligo now, does get the flip reset. Last second, 0 seconds now. Just need the ball to hit the ground as Tidy trying to launch it forwards. It won't matter. Chianina, they are 2-0 up in the series. And Caligo, they struggled. It felt like they didn't really get going. And you can understand that they've called for a timeout.
Yeah, and definitely needed. That has to be said. That does mean they have approximately 3 minutes, 2 minutes after the lobby, I believe, is up for the next one, and we also have some time to talk about because on the field it seems like the shots are just not finding their marks, even though they have more shots than Chianina at that time. I genuinely didn't see a significant chance from Caligo or Caligo, however you want to call it, in that game. I don't know about you, but it felt like their shots compared to the just chances of Chianina felt a bit slimmer, as if I may say that way, GM. I don't know what you feel about this, but it felt like they just didn't have really a solid chance to break through.
Yeah, no, like, I agree with you on that. It felt they never really looked like scoring. I know.
Yeah.
At the end of the last game, I called for them to like get the passes in, make the passes into the middle, like get them right more consistently, and it wasn't really much of an improvement on that front. And I think if you play against a team that likes to challenge quickly, then maybe trying to like take better control of the ball, maybe trying to like fake them out a bit, so you can like bait them into overcommitting, and then see if you can like get something on the counter attack. I wonder if something like that might work for Caligo.
Absolutely. Needing to kind of, have that sort of scenario where you want to lure them into your corner, as you said, bait them in for those 50s. They haven't really been taking those 50s in their corner. They just keep giving away the ball with, like, the clears that they're trying to get instead of trying to follow that one up. They are unable to follow it up because they simply give it away into the open arms of a Chianina player. And maybe if you're able to make that corner of yours work a little bit, because you obviously know Chianina is going to put up the pressure. If you're able to kind of play around in your corner and, make those 50s come through, a counterattack will definitely suit you a lot more than them because you're closer to your goal. You're able to kind of go wherever you want on the field. They are far away from home. You're going to be able to get that counterattack going if you are able to play your 50s right and be able to control the ball. I can't get this out enough here, GM. It feels like they're just not controlling the ball enough.
Yeah, and I think I did kind of allude to that earlier the previous game, is that it felt like there were just a lot of wasted touches, or touches just going straight to the Chianina players, and they didn't really do a good enough job of taking care of the ball. It felt like yes they like initially brought the ball into control, and then yes they played the pass, but then they just give it straight back to Chianina. And I think if we try and think like 2 steps ahead, rather than just like thinking about what's going to happen immediately, then I think like just trying to play it that little bit smarter, just not rushing into it straight away, just like taking your time and thinking about what's going to happen when you have the ball, what's going to happen if I play the ball that way or the way. But we'll need to see whether they've talked about here that and if they have, whether they can actually put that into action. It's not exactly the ideal start there, as Bailey backflipping on the wall, but we are trying to get things back under control as that one's played across by Alex, but it's a wasted touch, and now Avelios forced to commit his last man, goes to the backboard, meant to take his time, but doesn't get the ball under control, just forced into like a clearance away, but now it goes to Henrik, and that one's off the post. Now Avelios off the bar, and it looks like they have overcommitted Alex, so it's the only player back, and Bailey wins a 50, but it's just wide. And I think that's what we were talking about in terms of the counter-attacks. And Caligo, they haven't scored, but it has been a fairly bright start by them.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to be bringing forward. You just got to see what happened in that team talk, how the momentum shifts for the side of Caligo, and if they are able to get something going in terms of the other end. Mensu trying to get that one past. Bailey not reacting to it immediately, but now he does. Avelios forced to make that save, and he will just look to bring himself back here to get some extra boost and get ready for this next defense. It seems like the control is kind of coming through here for Caligo, but they might need a little bit extra to truly make it happen the way they intend to. Henrik able to get a good 50 against him, but there's no second man to follow, which means a counterattack from Caligo is following through regardless. Tidier, once again, forced to collect it, but he's not able to control it, so he's just forced to give it away. There it is again. Constantly just giving up the possession, and look where we are. We are at another potential goal for Chianina as they are mounting this offense right here. Tola looking for the shot again, and it seems like they're just missing narrowly on this goal. I mean, sometimes you sky it over the top, sometimes you shoot to the side, but regardless, still, those shots, any of them could really just land top corner at any given time.
Yeah, and it feels like they are playing on the edge. It looks like they do finally have a way out, as Bailey looking to play it into a corner, but then gets beaten to it by Sommerthorpe, and that one deflected just wide as Tidy forced to take his time with the wall. He has Mental in the middle. Can he find him? He does, but that shot has gone well wide, and now Bailey has to contest with Alex, and he wins that. But now Henrik with a quick follow-up, but Mensu does get the second touch, but it's just a wasted second touch. If our teammates had like committed to receiving that, they could have been good. And now they overcommit themselves, but Mensu gets back to make the save, and this could drop anywhere as Henrik's shot is blocked. And still, Giannina, they come again. Evelia's second touch, it's wide, and now Henrik trying to find Alex, but the pass wasn't far enough to where he wanted to. And now Tidy, Mintz of the middle, doesn't use him. Really should have done, but I don't think he was able to wrap his car around the way he wanted to. And you kind of feel that this game really could tilt either way. But for a long time it felt like Gallagher were just struggling to get out.
Yeah, and once more, they can't quite do that without the ball in their possession. Well, looking to get set up for Taller in play. Henrik is going to just collect this one simply because they still can't get a hold of that ball. Now they have a chance. Bailey over the top of one, over the flick of another, maybe a third to follow with the bump, but not necessarily a 1v3. Not in the books for the side of Giannina, but a counter-attack might be looming. Tidier avoids the bump, gets the save, and might just become the hero of Caligo if they are to score next. So far, still 0-0. The next goal might as well be the winner.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we're that kind of territory yet, but it does feel like the first goal will have significant waiting behind it. That was off the bar again! And Mentsu might have just won it for Caligo. There's still 48 seconds left, but the bump on Henrik by Tidy could prove to be the difference.
Seemed like we were only a step away from overtime, but now a goal scored, maybe another from this kickoff. Not necessarily Avelius will get a simple challenge to make that one go away. Mentsu, a 50 found, even a shot towards Tola. Avoided the 50 completely. Hendrik trying to get that pre-flip, completely not in a position to do that, as Tidier is forced to get this one going on the other end. And Mentsu will just get the corner found. Could be a second goal looming for the side of Caligo here to even cement themselves some sort of momentum into the next game. But so far, the timeout working, not a single goal conceded, even though it felt like they were on the brink of conceding every single second of that game. 9 seconds remaining still across the line of Giannina. Is only the one goal that we've seen so far. Could be the ground. It is the ground that meets the ball at that scenario. And DSQ get one on the board.
Well, maybe not so much going forwards, but certainly defensively, the timeout has worked. And for all of Giannina's pressure, they were not able to break down Caligo. And it looked like they were being stretched. It looked like they were on the brink of conceding for quite a lot of it, but they were always able to find that touch. And then on the counter-attack, they got that goal, and then they held on and ultimately claimed what may end up being a priceless Game 3 victory.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one step in the right direction, that's for certain, but it's still 2-1 in the series. Still a high and tall mountain to climb. Regardless, though, Utopia Colosseum might put us a little bit lower towards that, old, beautiful stage of those 0-second goals that we witnessed so far throughout the night, and maybe even a few more to come. And it does feel like Giannina are slipping away, not able to score a single goal. It seems like they had the chances, but their clinicality was totally off the marks, just missing every single time, and even skying a few extra shots, as you've seen in the previous one. But Utopia Colosseum, still a lot more to offer. Let's see where it takes us.
Well, Mentsu following up on the kickoff. It's just too high, but Alex was there anyway. Now Bailey back into middle, but not a particularly useful ball there. And now Mentsu able to sneak it in. Caligo, they left it late in Game 3. They only need 12 seconds to get a goal in game 4.
I hope that name didn't go through on the actual, well, oh no, it did. Everyone sees it. Tidier, the Alpha Sigma Wolf, in the lobby now, getting the assist. I hope that name gets banned in the future cases, but for now, we'll allow it, and we'll let it simmer. They can enjoy their celebrations just because they're winning so far. Let's see if they can keep it up here. Bailey gonna get one. Single touch, just kind of rolling towards the net here. It's a little bit dangerous, a little bit too close for comfort. Tidier looking to take a chance of it. And maybe, just maybe, able to get another goal to start themselves off. Backboard found. Can he get the reset? He doesn't need it. As Tidier was looking to put that one over the line again. So far, still only one goal good for it, but Caligo a lot more active in the offensive third.
Yeah, they are, and this isn't the first time we've seen Tidier adopt that exceptionally long suffix on his name, but he'll be hoping that it is more than just a placebo, trying to play it up, trying to just hold the ball up for his teammates to attack it. But that one doesn't come to fruition. Puts in a decent 50 on the wall to at least slow down Giannina's attack, but it does break to Henrik, trying to get back to it. Alex comes in for a bump, but it's off target. And now Henrik trying to slip it through, and Alex stayed up and puts Giannina level.
Yeah, he found himself as like the fox in the box there. Found one bump, go around to the other, and he was able to make it there before, I believe, Bailey was able to reach the ball for the save. So, still, plenty of chances for both teams here. 1-1, 1 goal to take the lead needed. Tidier gets a sub towards the infield. Not really able to do much more. There's an infield pass. Mensu tries to take it, but Bailey was awaiting that pass. Simply never got the green light or the ball to make the magic happen of that passing play, of that 1-2. It feels like they're once more building up the offense, and Bailey might be the one to make it. Avelios gets that save, and he's able to stave away the danger for a little bit, maybe even start a counterattack here for Giannina.
Yeah, but looks like that has come to nothing, as Bailey, not a particularly useful touch, but Henrik has misjudged it, but Avelios was behind him, plays it to a backboard. Is there anyone in support as Alex's shot saved by Tidier, the Alpha Sigma Wolf, looking to prove his prowess defensively. As now Alex, it's another shot saved by Mensu, and Alex tries to set it up back onto Henrik, and it's saved by Bailey. I think they'd have just been better off leaving the initial shot, but instead it stays level, and now they score an incredible goal.
Henrik from the sky is able to drop hellfire upon the rest of Caligo. That is disastrous, monstrous shot coming through. And the redirect is clean as any. Crossbar down, no saving that one, no anticipating that one either. Just try to not give him as much room next time, and maybe you get out alive. Henrik able to strike true once more for Giannina, even if he does bear the DSQ club tag throughout the game.
It is back into Miller's Mensu shot, that's well wide. Bailey trying to recycle possession. 50, tried to go for another one actually, but Avelios won that one pretty comfortably. Now Mensu just lumping it forwards, hoping to get a follow-up as Tidier misses it, comes back to Mensu though. Alex doesn't get there, but Avelios able to catch it, plays a pass to Henrik, but Bailey with an early challenge. This could be dangerous for Alex, able to make the catch, and now Avelios right behind him, looking to play it forward, getting a better Mensu instead, has to settle for a 50, goes back into his corner. Alex doesn't get there, neither does Bailey, but Tidier does, but the shot is wide, and that was a good chance for Caligo to level it. Instead, they have to keep pushing, and now Bailey back into a corner. Henrik, not the greatest because Mensu, that's a good pass. And now Tidier does find the second touch. Into middle, there's a couple of demos coming through. But Alex makes a clearance. Still no way through for Caligo.
Yeah, it's simply a parked bus in that scenario. Seems like they simply, wherever they try, they can't get through. Bailey now finally setting up Mensu. Mensu completely missing the ball. I'm not sure if that was even a pre-jump, but that miss was a bit too wide to even be considered one. And now We are looking at a counterattack again, though. It seems like Chianina are dropping the ball a little bit more than often. And there could be a chance there for them. Regardless, they are in front of the net of Caligo. They could look to put this one into the ground. 30 seconds, a goal might just do it. And a goal might just break this actual contention. This tension with the knife is sincerely draining for both teams here. 20 seconds remaining on the clock. They're still trailing by 1. Can they look to get denied again by Alex? And he's looking to get another one in field. He gets the bump. Henrik not going to follow. He's instead going to play this one defensively and await the future and await a potential offense from the side of Caligo. Not going to find it yet. Bailey going to keep it up for a little bit longer. It's not over till the clock hits 0, but he just doomed his own team in that scenario, and Chianina come away on series point.
Well, I think Caligo, they started well. They got that kick-off goal. They applied the pressure, but it felt like just too many times either the pass wasn't right or the player receiving it, their shot just came off target. And I'm not sure if it's nerves or they're coming off of back of that winning game, and I'm not sure if it's like overconfidence or what, but Cargo just completely missing the shooting boots, as it were, and Chianina, they had to do an awful lot of defending, but they were able to pull it off, and they were able to capitalize on those moments of weakness that were shown by Caligo at the other end.
Yeah, as we did mention, we saw their save stats. It was off the charts as well, and you mean the goals conceded and the goals for, they definitely had a lot bigger, differential in that section, where they definitely were able to win some of the games confidently, because I believe it was like 96 to 73 or something like that in terms of goals for and goals against. So it is there to say that the defense of Chianina truly is strong, but Bailey here coming in on the Dominus. Let's see if they can deliver a little bit more magic, and maybe a few redirects is what that car is famous for. A shot not found. It seemed like an open net. It was an open net for Ivelius to take care of, and they could have put Caligo on the back foot immediately off of the kickoff. Thankfully for them, they keep that one away for a while, and maybe even start a counterattack. Tidy onto the backboard. Anyone left to follow? Bailey is there, but the 50 from Henrik is good enough, and maybe even the counterattack. Mensu makes it in time and keeps the score level. There still is an opener to be found.
Yeah, and it looked like Chianina had an open net, but Mensu able to get back at the very last second to keep that one out. And as last man in that position, when you're 1v2, you have to get your challenge spot on, and thankfully he did exactly that.
I believe the server crashed.
I was
Fairly
wondering,
confident. Yeah, I'm fairly confident the server crashed, because it's not just on like the producer screen, it's also on mine. So there will be a remake. Thankfully, we do see that it's 4 minutes 17 seconds at 0-0, so that could be a restarting point. Thankfully, there was no goals as well. So I'm not sure what the ruling is. There could be a restart at 4:17 or a restart at 5 minutes. We'll see. But in the meantime, we should be able to get rolling any time now. But it seemed like out the gates, Caligo weren't ready for the offense that Chianina brought here in Beckwood Park.
Yeah, and well, it shouldn't be too much longer before we can restart the series, but I think Caligo will be hoping that off the back of losing that game 4 and game 5 being cut off prematurely, they'll be hoping that can halt Chianina's momentum, and it looks like maybe not all the players are ready just yet, as a bit of a pleasantries exchanged.
So
As
yeah, no, it's just that re-saying the chrono break. We have that. You know how they have it in League of Legends where they set back to an exact point of the game. We know the server crashed at 4:17, so we're putting it back on 4:17 so we can restart the actual game. So we are ready to get back into it any second now. And kickoff or not, ready or not, we are able to get ourselves underway regardless. Here we go then, once more. Tidy it, trying to start us off here, and thankfully no kickoff goal, otherwise we could have had some, you know, questionable moments there as Henrik is able to save it away. Bailey now starting off the offense. Tidy are trying to reach it, but he did more harm than good. He spabbed that ball. And right now, Bailey is the only one on the counter-attack. He's getting down by Bailey. Let's get demoed on the meantime. And so far, he stays alive and gets that clearance away. In the meantime, Caligo still looking for an answer. Not another one, surely. No redirect found from Mensu. And for now, things are even. 90 seconds already off the clock. And, well, I might have spoken a bit too early here, GM. Just slightly as Mensu finds the opener.
Yeah, and Caligo, they were probing, but it was actually a touch from Henrik, passing it straight to...
Great assist.
It was
Great
meant
assist.
to. And I wonder, maybe that might be a contender for fail of a week, if there is, or will it be fail of a playoffs, as it were? Well, whatever it is, like let's call it a potential like fail of the postseason.
Fail of the postseason.
Maybe that's a bit too long-winded. Oh, there is a second goal from Bailey, and that could be a clip of postseason. Never mind, fail of postseason.
And starting yourselves off strong here, Caligo being the stronger team. I like the team chat coming in from Tola. Let's lock in, he claims, and honestly, they might have to if they want to finish this one off in Beckwith Park. 3-1 in terms of series, 2-0 in terms of scoreline, but not in the way you'd expect them to be. Caligo is the one looking to get another game on the board here. Bailey looking to follow it through, and it will be Henrik to just follow this one up with Evelius at his side as that second man. That's a bit dangerous, that's a bit risky. Across the goal line it goes. That will be Alex looking to get this one in terms of a challenge and a chance. And so far, still, the pressure is mounting, but it seems like there's still no shooting boots for Chianina this time.
No, and well, it looks like we do still have the ball in an advantageous position. Ooh. And Velios into the top left corner, and it looks like the shot wasn't really on from there, but he was able to find it. Mensu can't get there in time, and Tidy just reacted a little bit too late, and Chianina, they get one goal back.
I mean, who anticipates that? Off of that angle as well. Clinical, crazy, and now borderline of just insane if they are able to turn this one back into their favor. It felt like they had nothing going for them, and Mensu might look to get another. Instantly the lead back up to 2 here, and Caligo still not down and out yet, not even demoralized after that goal.
Right, but I think it comes from the defensive failings from Chianina. All 3 of them were in the corner. The fact that not one of them fought to rotate back towards goal, and I feel like the mind does kind of boggle there, but they do pay the price of that. And now Alex tried to get one back straight away, but Tidy does make the save. And now Evelios, the second touch, maybe a third, and there just needed to be someone there to finish it off. Henrik was too late, and now
In a moment's notice, this
Alex,
one could...
we have over server crash.
No, it could be just you, GM. I will be honest. It could be just you, because so far we've been running. You back in the lobby, maybe?
Yeah, I think like maybe my internet is playing up again, and Chianina will be hoping back defensively. They aren't playing up again, as we do get the initial clearance, but there is a demo, and now Tidy doesn't get there on the 50. As Bailey, I think he just got bumped away from that, but Henrik just got baited into a challenge there. But now Mensu off the backboard is a fault. Tidy 2-4 forwards. That chance is gone. They are trying to recycle a ball. Now Bailey, that's not a great touch. There's Evelios trying to find Alex. It's just too high, and Bailey just about got enough on it. And now Alex trying to find the pass to Evelios. Alex playing it back across, and Henrik finishes it off.
Okay, tiki-taka. Okay, Mr. Barcelona. Alex over to over to Alex again, and then Henrik waiting on the far post to just turn it in. I don't know if it needed even a touch. I believe it was going in anyway, but why not make sure? And 52 seconds, 1 goal. That let's lock in was definitely needed from the side of Alex. And let's see if they're able to follow through. Oh my god, Tidy! Well, that's one way to answer. A swift reply again from Caligo, but this time with the reset from Tidy.
Well, such a good goal from Tidy, and just like a couple minutes earlier, Giannina pegged back again, but this time with even less time to play. It could get even worse, but they are able to repel that attempt from kickoff. But they do need to find something quickly as Avelios to a back, but can't get the second touch throw. And it was a difficult chance, but still one that needed to be taken. Time is very much not on their side in game 5. 20 seconds left, still needing to find 2 goals. Henrik, he's 1-on-1 with Tidy. Can he find a way through? He does.
Okay.
And maybe one more twist in the tail.
One more, and the plot armor seems to be dwindling here for Caligo. Seems like the next one might not be a reply, but rather a follow-up from Chiarina. They've had enough, and the kickoff is what they need. It's actually quite good for them so far. Henrik is going to have the opportunity here, but he really misses the read, and that's not the touch he wants. He ruined the chance that was potentially there for Chiarina to take it over. It's not done yet, though. Tidy gets a touch into the corner here. It hits the ground. And what could have been, should have been, doesn't matter, as Caligo take away another. 3-2.
Yeah, they just, even when they built up that 2-goal lead, I wonder whether there'll be a debate as to the server reset, but it needed to be done, and they can't really use that as an excuse. It affects both teams at Caligo. They built up that 2-goal lead, and even when Chiernina answered back, even when they tried to reduce the deficit, Caligo, they just answered back straight away, and they had some real individual quality about some of their goals.
Yeah, and it feels like it wasn't just the mistakes of Chianina that were punished. There was individual brilliance, and most notably Tidier there with that flip reset over the top, just slotting it below the crossbar, able to get that one over the line. And Caligo still a long way to go. 2 more needed in a row, because there's no more second chances for them. It's now or never. Obviously, you still will have your tournament life, but you will have to continue it from the lower bracket, as playoffs do not await a winner. You need to grab it by your own margins, and let's see if they are able to get over the line. Let's see if they are able to close this one out. And Tidy going to start us off here, looking to hunt this one. Onto the backboard we go. Gets a 50 into the corner as Ivalios does deny him. And Neo Tokyo could be either a burial ground or a ground for something majestic for Caligo.
Yeah, and now Tidy, I think he just got bullied off of that air dribble attempt, as this one completely uncontested, but that's not the greatest touch. Does find its way to Bailey, trying to rifle it reset beyond Henrik. Now Alex forced back, does get the 50. Tidy having to play it towards his own goal, does pick up the boost. Alex chasing him all the way though, as does seem like a real heavily, tightly contested game number 6, and Caligo, their life in the upper bracket is on the line. Of course, they aren't completely out of the tournament if they lose, but it does make it an awful lot harder if they drop into a lower bracket. Now Tidy trying to take it all the way. The flick not found, and Evelios, he can bring it out. There isn't really anyone in support, and now Mentsu gets a shot on Henrik. Alex not far enough, but Bailey completely scuffs the follow-up, and a couple of chances for Caligo, but not taken like they should be.
Still, a moment's notice. It could fall apart. It could be put together, and it could be an extra chance for either team to get that one across the line. Henrik is going to be the one trying to get forwards, and it will be Alex looking to accept the chance for Ivalios, who hasn't been really in the prominent side of scoring the goals, but when he has, they have been very impactful. Mentsu looking to get this one past. It will be Alex once more getting the pressure on, and as it is boiling, it seems like it's going to come to a halt anytime soon. Henrik Gonna look to assist that in happening. Avelio's great shot, crossbar down, but it's not over the line. Saved in the nick of time. Bailey gets it away and keeps Caligo alive and breathing. Score still equal, hunting for that opener.
Yeah, there just wasn't, and I'm not sure about you. Okay, yeah, it is just my internet as another shot comes in, but Mentsu able to put in the save, trying to pass, gets a flip reset beyond Alex, and now Bailey finds the top corner, and Caligo find the goal, which could be so crucial in keeping themselves in the upper bracket.
Champions Field might be on the line, and it might just be what sincerely Caligo needs. And there's no do or dies here. Obviously, you still have your second chance in lower bracket, but the upper bracket, very favorable to host the champions of the competition every single time. Let's see what we can put forward here, as both teams give it their all in the final few stages, the final few moments of today's show. Tidea looking to sass off here, as another Caligo attack seems to be brewing, but they're still stuck in defense. Infield pass, Henry gets a shot. Two players dive at it, and now has to be a save from Alex. No, great chance, gonna be followed. That's a great pass to Tidea, who takes that mistake and puts it right back in your net.
Well, Alex, I can tell what he was trying to do there.
Yeah. In Rival, a Psycho, really? I mean, maybe in another lifetime.
But yeah, I think it would have been much safer to just like play it to the corner, but I think he just like fancied himself. But now a chance of a counter attack, but Tidea does make the save, looking to keep control of the corner, playing the pass to Mentsu, but he gets charged immediately, and now Henrik has to bring it under control, gets a flip reset, but it gets away from him, and now Bailey, not the greatest touch, but Tidea able to pick up the pieces. Bailey trying to find the pass into the middle. Mentsu's waiting, Mentsu with a shot, and Mentsu putting Caligo 3-0 up, and surely taking this to Champions Field.
The SQ coming alive in the final moments. Not necessarily a reverse sweep, but it might as well be in terms of the best of 5. Champions Field is calling their name, and they're only a minute and 16 seconds away. Can they do it though? There's still possibility for 3 goals, albeit very unlikely here for Giannina. It seems very far-fetched with the offensive gameplay that we have seen from Caligo. It seems like they simply can't let Giannina break through at all. It's either they're on the offense or they're kind of, well, on the offense, you know? It's always them on the attacking front, and well, offense is the best defense. 49 seconds will look to tell the tale. A goal needs to land now for Giannina if they want to get this one a chance in game number 6, in map number 6, but seems like there's not much more of a chance remaining as the time is not on their side at all.
No, and but they do get one goal back.
Okay.
It might be too late in the day in terms of game 6, but Bailey don't take control of it. Tidea got beat to it.
Crazy fake.
So I think he just got faked by Henrik there. 32 seconds, 2 goals, and the odds still firmly stacked against Giannina, but maybe it could plant a seed or two of doubt in the minds of the Caligo players, but we just need to wait out these last 15 seconds or so as Avelius leaving it, but Alex just not quite. I'm not sure if he got the memo there, but 10 seconds, that might just be it for Caligo. It would be if that one went in, but it's still enough anyway. Alex, it's not going to go in time.
Okay.
And we will see game number 7 in this upper bracket.
So far, not a single map 7, not a single Champions Field to be seen in these play-ins in terms of Champions Field, I believe, and now is the true chance to make it happen. Tidea, I mean, it seems like he improved ever since the name change. That's all I'm saying. It seems like he just stepped up ever since he became the Alpha Sigma Wolf. But a timeout has been called by Unitox, and now they will have to talk this one through. Calm down the nerves.
Yeah, and I think one thing I have noticed is that And I called, like, early on the series, I called for Caligo to take better care of a ball, to have more control of a ball. And it feels like they did do that. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, there was that one goal which came from a Chianina mistake, but for all 2 goals, they did seem to be well worked. It did seem to be from, like, when they kept the ball well, when they had control of the ball, they were keeping it away from our Chianina players. I mean, it's a very good. I mean, that 3rd goal is a very good pass down, and it is quite fitting that that is the one which won it for them. And I think Chianina, they need to find a way to counter that. They're wondering what went wrong after going 3-1 up in the series.
Well, it feels like, first off, that timeout was great coming through here from, it was at 2-0, I think, where Caligo called in the timeout. They got 1 game back, and Chianina answered promptly. But it seems like by the time, I mean, Caligo came through and put it to 3-3. Momentum definitely in their favor now. They just need to close it out and become the heroes of this sort of, well, they're going to feel like it's a reverse sweep. They were down 3-1. I mean, like, it's a best of 5 reverse sweep technically. So if they are able to pull through here, it's going to be one hell of a show for them. And it's going to be one hell of a celebration right afterwards, because that upper bracket extra life means a lot in playoffs. I cannot get the point through enough of how much that really matters. And it's everything to play for here, GM. I mean, I love it. Game 7, underdog story coming alive, and it seems like we're 5 minutes away from deciding a winner. Well, we are technically.
Well, 5 minutes plus whatever's left of a timeout, plus if there's any overtime. So there might be a bit more of a delay than what was first thought, but we're sure that it will deliver in terms of everything, in terms of drama, in terms of good moments, in terms of bad moments, in terms of just everything, really. Hoping that it's going to be such an epic climax to the series and ultimately the stream tonight. But still a few seconds left of the timeout. Chianina, they will be looking to disrupt this Caligo momentum, looking to halt the Caligo momentum, just like Caligo halted the Chianina momentum earlier on in the series. We'll just have to see how that works out, but it looks like the timeout is over. There's no more time for talking. It's time to do the talking on the pitch in this game 7, and it looks like the kickoff will be won by Chianina.
Yeah, and possession for them so far. It will be Mensu looking to get this one over to Bailey, his comrade across multiple seasons. A trade of demos does take the stage, as physicality might be the name of the game that Chianina are trying to bring here off of that timeout. And they might look to just yield them those results they were missing, already starving the boost. Alex onto the backboard, no one left to follow up though, as Henrik is a little bit too far to play that second man role that's necessary in those sorts of attacks.
Yeah, and in the lower tiers I have made plenty of mention, but Velios almost on the ground pinch, not quite able to. That would have been quite the start to Guton. And now tight here. Can he get the second touch? He's ran out of boost. And now Mensu, it's his turn to commit, but only finds a corner. But Alex loses out. And now Mensu, can he squeeze it in? It's still not completely dealt with. And Bailey trying to drop it down. Too tight here. Off the post. Off the post again. And there's an own goal from Ivelios.
What better way to start off Champions Field than an own goal? I'm sure he didn't have a choice, yeah. But that ball was going out more than in. It crossed already halfway through, but ever since the post, it was rolling out, and maybe there was a chance that he makes a better touch where he's able to get that one into safety, but he still had 2 players to worry about, so can't blame him too much though. Need to work on the reply now here. Chianina haven't been themselves ever since that game, number 5, where everything started going wrong. Let's see, Tidia looking for that musty, unable to get any sort of power behind it. Gets the 50 though. Mensu gonna be happy to follow it through with a reset to boast with. But sadly, no result to be given for him throughout this sort of stage. And Vel is gonna be the one to simply put that one across the line, even maybe getting that pinch towards the goal. Still, no reply in terms of the goal, but there could be one soon. Alex towards the goal, no one's home. And Chianina find the equalizer early on.
Well, I think Mensu just committed to reading the backboard, but he didn't get there, and no one was behind him, and Alex taking full advantage of it. And I was going to try and make a mention of the goal which Callagher scored, and Avelios, I think it was possible for him to make the save, but I think you can't really fault him. But not only that, but also because of how Tidier was lurking at the back post, he had to put in the challenge quickly, but unfortunately he just got the wrong side of it. But it doesn't matter anymore. They have found the equaliser, but that pass was way too far ahead of Alex, but is trying to play the pass to Avelios. Can't have a second touch, though. Belly gets the clearance, but it is blocked by Henrik. He doesn't get the challenge. He's having to face away from the goal. And now Mentzu looking to go up for it, gets a beat on Henrik, and the second touch. Is there a follow-up? No. Alex gets the clearance, but now Bailey back in, but Henrik makes a save. And now what can Chiellini offer on the counter-attack, as it is a bump into a corner for 51 by Tidier, having to play at 1v2 against Avelios. Bailey comes in for support as he can take over, gets a bump on the backboard, and Mentzu is there, but so is Alex. Feels like Mentzu just needed to be there that second or two earlier, but yeah, I have to say a goal is coming rather quickly. It doesn't feel like it's too far away before the deadlock will be broken.
Yeah, and 1 minute 45 on the clock. It feels like any second now we might see a deadlock being broken, as you said. Bailey is the one looking to get the sap. A triple commit could open something up here, but Alex is able to get both touches there onto the ball, and Avelios will get that counter attack going again. Still a very interesting way to get the touches started here. A demo would be good to find after a failed attempt at that first man play, but still no one is left to follow up on that. It will be Mentzu taking this one away. Bailey could have anything in store for Caligo, but so far Giannina hold on strong, and Bailey gets this one onto the side. It will be Alex to try to get this one across, and still 60 seconds on the clock. What better way than to send this one into overtime? But still, seems like the next goal could genuinely be a factor in this one.
Well, it felt like a goal was coming. That just hasn't happened yet. As Avelios is up for it, drops it down, but Tidier makes a save. And could that be the catalyst for Caligo in Game 7? But that one just too far away for Tidier. I mean, to be fair, he's somehow able to get a touch to it anyway, but it felt like maybe a chance wasted. And now it feels like this game could swing either way. It's just the momentum has lurched from one side to the other so quickly, so many times. And now Mentzu, the last player back, cannot afford to do anything silly here. Gets a 50 against Avelios, but now that one's gone wide and it drops down. Mentzu doesn't make the read. Could it open up? Henrik gets a touch, but it drops down, and Mentzu opts not to keep it up. So we do have overtime in Game 7.
And still, it seems like we are only a few away of crowning a victor here. Both teams would feel ecstatic to get this one over the line. Giannina had so many chances, so many opportunities, but finally, it seems like there is enough time to crown a champion here. There is an infinite amount, theoretically speaking, but only one goal will be the deciding factor. Mentzu trying to get the 50 here. Henrik not able to take to the stage here when it matters, as Alex is able to get this 150 against Bailey. Mentzu is able to take over from his comrade onto Tidier, following through as well, but not enough boost to keep up. So this one will be just a shot sent towards the top ropes. It will be a clear away, and Bailey will hold on strong for the time being. 50 seconds off the clock, and it's already brewing to be an apocalypse out there.
Yeah, it is, and I feel like with overtimes, I think it can go. I think teams can play one or two ways. Alex does get the clearance, and now Avelios has clear. And as I was saying, it could go one of two ways. I think teams they either play it cautious because they don't want to concede, or they just go all out because they want to score. It's yet to be seen how these teams are approaching it. But now Avelios just taking his time as does find its way to a backboard, but Mentsu gets a clearance. And I feel like both these teams, that they're trying to play it cautiously. They do not want to drop to a low bracket. Bailey gets a shot on, but Alex was there for the save, and now he's trying to find himself who counters that, but it's a bit too far for Avelios to do anything with it, as he's looking to just shepherd it across, but instead cuts off his own teammate. A chance could open up for Caligo, but instead Alex able to read it, gets a second touch, gets a flip reset, but Tydeer able to make the save, and now that one cut out by Mensa, but straight to Henrik, but Tydeer able to get the clearance. It's a double commit. Maybe the panic started to set in, but it's an overcommit, and Bailey gets a clearance, and now is it anyone back? Avelios was able to hold down the fort for Chianina, but a real frantic last 10 seconds or so, but still no goal comes from it.
And still, legends to be crowned. But regardless, it seems like there is moments to be crowned a winner here. Only one name will get on that score sheet to get it over the line. Who will it be though? A pinch attempt coming through from Mentsu. It seems like they're only a few extra moments away. Henrik taking it over the top, getting a 50, but unable to get that one through over the line. As well, he's looking to get any sort of offense rolling, but they're at a stalemate. They have no answer for the defense of Caligo, and Caligo simply can't break out of it regardless. But that demo, it could open something up. Is there a chance? No! Bailey able to clear it away, and we still stay at a 3-minute overtime.
Yeah, we do, but now Avelios with a shot. Bailey not much boost, but still makes a save. And it looks like Caligo, the defense, is really being stretched, but they are holding on as Bailey goes under Henrik. Avelios, the last player back, does make the save onto a backboard. It's still not completely dealt with. Mentsu towards the backboard, and now it comes to Bailey. Gets a first touch, but no follow-up. And Henrik, does he have a chance to get it out? He does, but only as Mentsu. That's an errant touch, but Bailey there to recover. Doesn't get the second touch though. It could open the door, but neither of the Chianina players committed to it. And now it could be a decent pass, but Tydeer maybe not quite able to be found there as it drops down. Now Henrik, it's a decent first touch, looking to cut lights off. He still goes alone, finds a pass into middle. Avelios just too late to it. I think maybe it's just opting to not overcommit. And yes, he wanted to be there, but he didn't want to leave the net open. And the longer this game goes on, you can't wonder whether teams will start to get desperate or if they'll just keep the faith in their cautious approaches.
Yeah, and moments away from disaster for either team. It would be relief on the faces of Chianina. Can Avelios make it happen? Clear from Mentsu will keep them alive. It will be Alex to get another chance at it, but Bailey staves it away for a little while longer. Avelios, the hero of the final match. Relief on the faces of Chianina. Heartbreak for Caligo, but that is Rocket League for ya.
Yeah, they got. It felt like Chianina, they were able to mount that bit of pressure right near the end. Caligo, they were getting boost starved. We saw Bailey as last man on 0 boost, just caught at that front post, and his two teammates lost the challenges, so he got put in an insurmountable and untenable position as Chianina, they are able to stay in the upper bracket, but by the finest of margins, Caligo are defeated and they drop to the lower bracket.
I must say, Avelios truly stepped up in that final game. Hasn't really been the name to kind of find the moments in the previous few, but when it mattered the most, he was able to find that impact goal. And as I said, he's the man of impact goals, and the whole series decided by that one goal differential. Caligo had the better offense, but Chianina had the much better defense as well. And honestly, it felt like the demos were there as well to flip it over. The timeout came in clutch for Chianina, and they were able to make it count. And, well, the series MVP is the only thing people are waiting for, and that truly does go to the favor of Henrik. He has scored so many goals we've seen. 6 out of, I believe it was 11 total, was it not? GM, I don't know. I can't quite remember the stats right here, but around that, right?
I think it's out of 12, so that's 50%.
Yeah,
Half the
that's
goals
yeah.
were from him.
I mean, in
But
the first
more
game,
importantly,
he turned it on top of the head. Remember, it was like the last 30 seconds he scored both of the goals. So truly a masterclass performance from him, I must say, GM.
yeah, I mean, it's all well and good stat padding, but that was no stat padding. That was making a real difference in the series. But not only that, the 13 saves really proving to be a brick wall when his team needed him to be. And it was enough to get them over the line. And ultimately, they go through. And it's not to say that Caligo are out, but their lives are much more difficult in that lower bracket.
Yeah, 100%, especially facing Flame, who are coming off of a hot start as well. And then also, as we've seen in the previous matches, let's take a look at the bracket as well. Because I believe there's also Flame down there. That's awaiting them with open arms. There's also Phoenix that we have just seen only an hour ago on this same stream as well. And it's going to be a rougher road down there, but Giannina deserved to go through as well. I think if I could have given it, I think I would have put both of these teams through the upper bracket, but sadly, only one winner can be found, and it was Ivelios in that final moment to make the difference that Giannina really needed.
That's the nature of it. Yeah, I think that's just the nature of it. Sometimes it can be such a cruel game decided by the finest of margins, but that is why we play it, because while if we are on the wrong end, it can be heartbreaking, but there can be such jubilation, such elation if you are on the right end of it. And that is what Giannina were. They were on the right end of it. But we do have to go through our sponsors before the stream ends. They are on the top right. They are Badass Studios. They are SpartanWare, trophi.ai. And if you think you're buying anything in the RSC store, be sure to use code rsc-eu. Really helps us out. But unless you've got anything else to say, that is all for the stream tonight.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. I've been Kiki, it's been GM next to me, and Masters, who got the closest prediction here. He predicted 4-2 to Unitox. That got it right. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye for now.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
up on my